The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
What's up and what is going on, everyone? This is not a regular stream day for us. I just happened to not be at work today due to some things I had to take care of. So since I am not at work today, and obviously we've known about what today was, the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace, rest in power to Chadwick Boseman, the late great Chadwick Boseman, the great actor that he was. But we've all known that Fatal J, and shout out to Fatal J, shout out to not only Fatal J, but shout out to Chillmonger as well. We've known that Fatal J and Chillmonger had kind of put together this deal to where they really wanted to blast the hashtag today, with today being the passing of, again, the late great Chadwick Boseman. They wanted to highlight not only the hashtag, but highlight, what Chad wanted and all the things that we as fans are wanting and things like that. Not to be disrespectful to Chad. It was never to be disrespectful to Chad. And as we've said since day one, when this selfish decision by Marvel and Disney was made, it was never to disrespect Chad. Not the hashtag, none of the things that are said, at least from over here and from some of my colleagues within the recast movement. It's not to disrespect Chad. It's not to be misogynistic or anything like that. And the list goes on and on and on, especially if you've been here, this was always just to highlight how great the character of T'Challa is, and that the character of T'Challa should continue and deserves to continue like any other character. And that's what Chad wanted as well. So I kind of wanted to go through Twitter here. I know that I had said on here that, we were going to get down and talk about Vision Quest and talk about Spider-Man 4, all the changes with it, and talk about Wonder Man, talk about Blade, talk about Armor Wars. Those are all things I still do want to discuss because there are some things going on with a lot of those. But I do really want to kind of dive into some of the things that are being said on Twitter. Now, I have not been hit with anybody today. As I told everybody on today, come with your full armor of your full recast armor on, because more than likely, especially with today being the passing of Chadwick Boseman, more than likely you are going to get some people that were going to definitely buck back on Twitter against the hashtag. I have not had anybody come at me personally. Now, I have seen something that was shared from one individual, but I have not had anybody come at me personally. I have not had anybody say anything to me about how disrespectful it is or anything like that. But I'm sure they're out there. But I do appreciate those of you that are here. Like I said, this is not a normal stream time for us. So Andre, Blackclaw, Brother Stark, Groovy, and Stamina. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate it as always. Again, shout out to Chill. Shout out to Fatal J, because they are the ones that got this thing jumping today. Not to say that the hashtag is not used daily by some of us on Twitter, but shout out to them for wanting to especially highlight it on today. So let's see what is going on with the hashtag. And I'll say this too. I said this on Twitter. It is one of the things that it definitely helps. I don't know what my fucking internet is doing. One of the things that definitely helps is when we do have bigger YouTube channels, YouTube creators, content creators, whatever, join in on the hashtag. When they come in and they're saying, oh yes, recast T'Challa, X, Y, and Z reasons why, it does help. It highlights the hashtag. It also shows, that it's not just us small YouTube channels that are speaking on this and things like that. These are honestly, as I've been saying, this shift. It's the shift that we are seeing on Twitter. It's a shift that we're seeing not just on Twitter, on social media in general. Everyone shifting over to the recast side, where you had some people that were anti-recast at the first time around, having the conversations that are now pro-recast. You're seeing the conversations definitely shift online, to where we are no longer the minority. So it looks great. Let's see, what are some people? Well, actually, let me go to that. Let me go to this one thread really quick. Let me make sure I have it. Make sure I have that person's name. There it is. Let's do this instead. This is the one person I said that I had seen. Okay. The one person I said that I had seen that they said they had something negative to say, or why they said that he shouldn't be recasted. Okay, so he had put out. I think it was this thread here. Yeah. He says, you all know my stance on the recast of T'Challa movement. A thread. Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P., was an amazing Black Panther and will never have someone like that ever again. And see, this is one of the things, just the first part there, we'll never have somebody ever like that again. And we will never know that. We'll never know if we will ever have somebody that can ever play that character as well as Chadwick Boseman again, because of the decision that was made to not recast him. And it's to me the closed-mindedness and of some people when they are coming in saying like, oh, he doesn't need to be recast because Chadwick Boseman did such an amazing job. But these are the same people that are Superman fans. These are the same people that are Spider-Man fans. These are the same people that are Batman fans. These are the same people that are Joker fans that have been able to see that fictional character be portrayed by several different people. And because of that, you are able to have, and I use this all the time, you're able to have those conversations of why this person, and the perfect example is the Spider-Man conversation. During No Way Home, you had some people online that were saying, oh my God, I can't wait for Toby to come back. You had some people online saying, oh my God, I can't wait for Andrew to come back. And then you had some people on, then the conversation came up, well, who's the better Spider-Man? Is it Tom? Is it Toby? Or is it Andrew? And you had that conversation that was able to take place simply because you have three different actors that have played the same character. And when you close the character of T'Challa with Chadwick Boseman, you are then, of course, these are things we've all said before, you are then closing that character off to anybody else that could potentially play that character and bring something completely different to the character, completely different to the role than that of Chadwick Boseman. I've used this before too. I've said this many times. Heath Ledger, if you would have told me that somebody else could come in and play, that wasn't me saying that I didn't think that he should not be recasted. I was just saying whoever comes in and played the Joker after Heath Ledger had some big shoes to fill. And I'm really glad that we have Joaquin Phoenix's version of Heath Ledger. I hate Jared Leto's version Joaquin Phoenix's version of the Joker. I hate Jared Leto's version of the Joker. But you can still throw that in the conversation and say, but Jared Leto did this, or Joaquin Phoenix did this, Heath Ledger did this. You do not have that conversation when you close the character of T'Challa with Chadwick Boseman. So, again, great actor. We all know that. No one is denying that. No one's trying to disrespect Chad or anything like that. But again, if we really truly, and this is why I say I think a lot of this is fake outrage from some of the people on Twitter. If you really truly cared about anything that Chadwick Boseman wanted, if you really truly cared about, not disrespecting Chad or what his wishes were, you would know before tweeting and doing any of the things you're doing on social media. You would do the research and know that he himself wanted this character to continue. And for some reason, whenever that gets brought up in arguments, whenever that gets brought up on Twitter or whatever, that either stops the argument, they'll overlook it and say, oh, well, it doesn't matter, this is what Marvel and Disney wanted, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, at the heart of your argument is disrespecting Chad. It's what is going to honor Chad. And I've said since day one, if you really, truly wanted to honor this man, you would have honored this man's wishes. You would have honored what he truly wanted. And that was for this character to be recasted. His brother has spoken on it. His niece has spoken on it. He has not in those exact words spoken on it, but he has said that he would like to see, he would want this character to continue on. He has talked about how important this character was. In the video that I shared on Twitter today, just kind of highlighting obviously the anniversary of his death, it's been 4 years, and then highlighting the hashtag of Recast T'Challa, I put out the clip of him honoring Stan Lee when he even recognized and said in the video, you know, you have to remember the time that Black Panther was created. He was created during the height of the civil rights movement, a time that, you know, nobody thought they were going to see a black character, but Stan Lee and Jack Kirby saw the need for literal representation within the black community because there was none. He's not a derivative character. He's not a side character. He's not anyone's sidekick. He is his own character. And that representation that he created, you are taking that off of the screen. And that's what I really want people to understand. I don't think that they understand that part when we're talking representation. I think that word has been used so much within the past few years. Representation. But obviously representation matters. But when you take T'Challa off the screen, you are taking the representation off the screen. It doesn't matter if M'Baku's there. It doesn't matter if Okoye's there. It doesn't matter if Shuri or the other characters that were birthed because this character was a thought are there. It doesn't matter. Now, as I've said before, if this character is there, then it matters. Then these other characters might be favorites of some people, and that is all fine if they are favorites of some people, but you have to understand the only reason those characters have life, the only reason those characters have gone on to have stories of their own within T'Challa's Black Panther story is because of T'Challa. So when you take T'Challa off the screen, you are taking the representation that birthed Wakanda, that birthed the Black Panther franchise, that birthed all the other characters that came from that franchise. When you take him off, you are taking away that franchise. You are taking away that representation. That's what the character was created for young black men to look up and to look at this character and see something that they hadn't seen before, to be represented in a way that they hadn't been represented before. And it's crazy that, again, we want to honor Stan Lee and we want to honor Chadwick Boseman, but while trying to honor both of these men, we are completely deviating away from what the purpose of this character was, what they set out for this character to be, what they set out for this character to do. You know, I've seen it said, Chill said it today on Twitter, and some others have said it before as well. I think I've said it too. You know, you wouldn't accept a Damon Wayne to come in and be Batman. He'll never be Batman. He might be Batman's son, but he will never be the Bat. He will never be Bruce. And the fact that, again, I think that it's willful ignorance a lot of the time, because if you can accept and you can see that this character here should be recasted, but this character over here should not, for whatever reason, it honestly, like I said, becomes the willful ignorance there from some people, and it's crazy. But he goes on here to say, in my opinion, what Marvel Studios / Entertainment has been missing in their movies and shows are stakes. Everything is fine at the end. If we were to recast T'Challa, then there are no stakes. So I guess I'm confused here. Are the stakes of Wakanda Forever that T'Challa is dead? There are no stakes. If that's, again, this is what happens when people get online and just have a free reign to just speak and say whatever they want. And it is his Twitter page. He can say whatever he wants, but that's completely ignorant. To say that if you recast T'Challa, then there are no stakes in Wakanda Forever. I'm assuming that's what he's saying. Wrong. Completely wrong. He goes on to say how I would react if they were to recast T'Challa. Then he says, I don't care what the family of Chadwick Boseman, RIP, would have wanted. They are not his soul, body / mind. Okay. But you are also saying this while saying that you do care what Marvel and Disney wanted over what Chadwick wanted. It's weird to me that you would put Marvel and Disney's wants over what Chadwick Boseman's family has said that he wanted, while in the same breath still saying that you're honoring that you're doing this out of to honor Chadwick Boseman. Again, wrong. They may not be his soul, body, and mind, but they are the closest people. They were the closest people to him. I know that Marvel fandom has this veil over their eyes to where they think that Disney and Marvel and Ryan Coogler and Denai and Letitia and everybody else were extremely close with Chadwick Boseman. And I don't want to speak on their relationships. I don't know how close they were. But I've oftentimes used the argument, if they were that close, and yes, he kept it secret, it was private. None of them knew this man was sick. None of them knew he was sick. While speaking, you've got I forget, Winston Duke Mbaku. Forgot what he had said about recast. Somebody, I don't remember the quote he said. Something about recasting him. You wouldn't have made that statement because you would have known even then that that's not what Chad would have wanted. Personally, that's not what Chad would have wanted. So you wouldn't have even made the statement that you made then. So to say that, again, you don't care what his family would have wanted, honestly stops it there. You could stop there because, again, his family is the closest people to him. His family knew exactly what he wanted. His niece even came out and said what he wanted. His brother came out and said on numerous occasions what Chad would have wanted. Chad, again, in not so many words, said what he would have wanted. So that's really, this statement here is how I feel like a lot, if you take it back to what I said about when you share the video of Chadwick Boseman speaking on wanting the character to continue and the importance of it not being just one, or there not just being one, or whatever. That right there is how a lot of the anti-recast anti-recasters think. They all think, I don't care what the family of Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P., would have wanted. They're not his soul, body, and mind. But then again, we'll be like, oh yeah, but Marvel and Disney wants this, and that's all okay. We had an entire movie about Chadwick Boseman's legacy as the Black Panther. I personally love the movie, and I think it is underrated. The Black Panther is a mantle to be passed on to T'Challa's family, not Chadwick's. What the fuck is he even talking about, the not Chadwick's thing? But again, this lets me know that this person, I don't know, I don't want to, presume to know anyone. But by speaking this way, you've not picked up a Black Panther comic book. To say that the Black Panther mantle is to be passed. When have you ever seen the Black Panther mantle outside of Surrey when T'Challa was in a coma being passed around? When? You haven't. And these are just, again, people that are MCU fans that have gone on Twitter and seen arguments. He saw this somewhere on Twitter. He saw somebody say on Twitter somewhere at one point in time that the Black Panther mantle should be passed on to through T'Challa's family, and he's ran with that argument ever since. Never once in his life has this man picked up a Black Panther comic book. He doesn't know anything about the Black Panther outside of the things that he has seen within the MCU, and that's 99.9% of the MCU anti-recasters. It's coming in with limited MCU knowledge, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He said it was/is up to Marvel Studios, Ryan Coogler, and his writing team to do what. I think he meant to know what to do with the character, to best serve the actor Chadwick. Making sure the Black Panther was a good choice, as it doesn't step on Chadwick Boseman's legacy as the Black Panther. The suit also represents that. All this to say that I would not be supporting the recast T'Challa movement. P.S. This will not be the only time that I will use the this will be the only time that I use the hashtag. So yeah, to where Fatal J told him, thanks for helping the hashtag recast T'Challa trend. But that's really the only one that I have seen today that has been anti-recast. Now, I'm sure they're out there. I personally don't want to see them because I don't want to get into the debates today on Twitter. But that's really been the only. And again, you know, you had Josh come out and say what he said. I thought what Josh said was really well written. Josh has been a part of recast since day one. This is not something that he's just jumping on. He has had this stance from day one, and I know a lot of people, and I have gone against John too on some of the things John has said about it. But John, since day one, has also been a part of. Now he'll never post hashtag recast T'Challa or anything like that, but he has also been a part of the movement since day one. Let's see. Yeah, there's been quite a bit on here. I was trying to look for some of the, if there was anybody saying anything negatively, but I don't think so. Like I said, I haven't really seen anything. It's all really been kind of just geared toward the hashtag RIP Chadwick, and yeah, so yeah, like I said, I thought it was going to be a lot more from people today, especially with us putting hashtag recast T'Challa on the day that Chad passed. I was expecting for there to be a lot more outrage from some of the people, but I guess that kind of does speak to what I was saying earlier about there being a shift. Rather there be people out that are speaking about it publicly, saying, you know, I've had a change of heart, it is recast T'Challa or whatever. They might be quietly on Twitter supporting the hashtag now, but there are definitely people supporting the hashtag way more than there were before. And I really do think, and I've said this before, I was going to do a video over this. With the Russo brothers directing Doomsday, and with the Russo brothers directing Secret Wars, I really do think that we could see T'Challa again. I don't know why we honestly wouldn't, unless there is some type of mandate over at Marvel Studios to not be able to use this character. That would be the next time that I would expect us to see this character. I would expect us to see him sometime in Doomsday or in Secret Wars, because there's no reason that they cannot recast this character. There's no reason that we should not see this character, especially with this being the multiverse. I mean, I know that we've seen limited of the multiverse within the Multiversal saga, but this would be the time to bring this character back, to not only bring this character back, but have this character continue on after, if the soft reboot is a real thing, have this character continue on after the soft reboot, and whatever else it is you need to do to completely just undo what was done before. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, how do you expect him to do that? He literally died in Wakanda Forever. Again, these have to be MCU fans. These can't be people that have any comic book knowledge, because do you know what Secret Wars is? Do you know what the multiverse is? Do you really truly know what a variant is? There should be other versions of T'Challa out there. And if you would go back a year or two ago, I was saying, I don't want a variant. I want the T'Challa. And I still do want the T'Challa that we have been on the journey with. But at this point in time, couldn't even get him animated. I will accept that variant T'Challa if we can bring him in and somehow have him be the T'Challa that continues on going forward. You know, there was again, we don't know if this is real or anything like that, but the news that I had gotten about 2 months ago that Marvel was looking at Damson Idris, and it was a package deal with another female actress that they wanted to bring in, and they wanted to have her portray Storm. And the whole idea was that it was going to be Storm from the X-Men universe, and that T'Challa was going to come over from the X-Men universe with her. They were already married, or that was the theory, at least, that some people had that they were already married, and that's the way that it could work. Or there's many other ways outside of that you can make it work. I mean, I know that Secret Invasion was shit, a complete shit, a dumpster fire of shit, but that's still a plot line that they are currently trying to piece together within the MCU. The Skrulls have still been here. They've still been infiltrating, still been impersonating heroes. We saw that a Skrull was Rhodey. We saw that, I think that was the only hero, right? We don't know what other scrolls are out there impersonating other heroes. I've said many times before, one thing you could do is have the scroll or have the T'Challa that you put in a casket could have been a scroll. Now, I know, once they die, they go back to looking like a scroll or whatever like that. I don't know how you would explain that part. But you could do that. It is the secret invasion. I mean, you still got the scrolls going on. That plot line is going to continue on in Armor Wars. I don't know if, I want to talk about Armor Wars. It's still supposedly a thing, but that plot is supposed to be continuing out on in Armor Wars, and if it continues on in Armor Wars, then you could get that more knowledge on what scrolls were impersonating what heroes, or what scrolls were impersonating what government officials, and whatever. But you could do it. You could do it that way. There's many ways that you could bring T'Challa in. I mean, none of us have seen Eyes of Wakanda. I won't be tuning into Eyes of Wakanda, but I'm sure there will be things about it on Twitter after the little 30-minute 4 episodes come out. In one of those episodes, this has been a long time. We've talked about this on the channel. I've talked about this in videos, talked about this with the Pantheon. One of those episodes, it's been rumored a long time that the Horde is going to be in there, and whatever the Horde does, the Horde is an alien race connected to the Eternals. Whatever the Horde does in the show is so bad that the Wakandans, I don't know if they're teaming up with someone else, is so bad that they have to go back in time. So my thing is this, and this was brought up by Andre Ware. This was brought up by Andre in one of the Pantheon discussions, where he said, Wakanda can go back in time to stop the Horde from doing whatever horrible shit they're about to do in the Eyes of Wakanda show. Why the fuck can't they go back in time and save T'Challa? And I've used this so many times. Said this, well, not the back in time, but I've said this so many times, because Wakanda in the MCU is not Wakanda. They have gone out of their way to show you that this is not Wakanda. The entire fucking royal family is dead outside of Shuri. Wakanda is not special in the MCU when it comes to vibranium. They are not the only ones that have vibranium. Any and anybody can just waltz into Wakanda. Namor did it about 3-4 times within Wakanda Forever. Any and everybody can just kidnap the queen, or I'm sorry, the princess. She's just wandering by herself. Her and the Queen Mother just by themselves. No protection, no security, no nothing. They showed us that Wakanda's also not as intelligent as we would like to think that they are. Why? Because they fought Talokan, whatever the fuck they were. They fought them, a race of people that come from under the water. The Kukulkan, the serpent-feathered god, came from under the water, and Wakanda's brilliant tactical plan was to take the fight to the water. So they're not as smart as we would like to think that they are, and they cannot save their own when it comes to death, when it comes to anything like death. Let's just leave it at that. When it comes to death, they can't save their own. But when it comes to outsiders, they can figure that shit out quick. When it came to Agent Ross being shot, quick, Wakanda. When it came to Bucky and what to do with him, quick, Wakanda. When it came to the greatest minds outside of Reed Richards, because he was not present, but even then, T'Challa stands toe-to-toe. But when it comes to the greatest minds currently in the MCU, Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, who else was in there trying to figure shit out? Some of the other great minds that were in there couldn't figure out how to get the stone out of Vision's head. Wakanda did. Within seconds. But when it came to their own king, their own protector, they had no answers. You had the scientists running around trying to figure shit out. Shuri couldn't figure it out. Heartbeats fading. But we can figure out how to, we can, and that's the thing for me. If whatever sickness it was, we can't figure out this earthly sickness that is ailing my brother, our king, my son, our protector. But an alien stone, a stone not from Earth, a stone that is inside an android's head. We know all the knowledge on that. We can figure that shit out in seconds. And that's something I would expect for Wakanda to be able to do, just as I would expect them to be able to save their king from any fucking sickness. So this is not the same Wakanda. The MCU, Marvel Studios has gone out of their way to show you that this is not the same Wakanda. So I would be just fine if in Battle World or whatever's supposed to come with this new, because Spider-Man 4 is drastically changing too, and again, that's something I wanted to talk about, is Battle World stuff. I don't, if Wakanda from the MCU just didn't make that cut, like if they just weren't one of the pieces pulled into Battle World, I'd be fine with that. To where you get your, because I've said it many times before, it is messy, it is going to be something that they have to figure out how to do, which I don't think they're ever going to do this, but I've said what I think they should do is reboot the entire Black Panther franchise, kill them all, and no one needs to come back. And I hate saying that because I do like Denai. I really like her as a Okoye. I really, really do. I wanted, before the removal of T'Challa, I wanted the Okoye series because T'Challa was still within the MCU. Probably maybe would have made an appearance or got talked about or something like that. His presence would have been felt. I was really on board with the Okoye series. So I really wanted Denai. But I'll lose her. I'll lose Letitia. I'll lose Winston. I'll lose Angela. I'll lose them all to replace T'Challa. To put T'Challa back on screen and start this franchise over. Because it needs to be, it's in such, and two movies in with a handful of cameos, and it's in such a messy place. But why do I believe that the Russos would truly be the ones to bring him back is because, again, we are in the multiverse. They handled him so very well. In my opinion, the best way that he was handled within the MCU was in Civil War. When we saw him in Civil War, I thought that the regalness that he had, not just that, the way he carried himself, the intelligence that he had, the deleted scene between him and Natasha that I wish they would have kept in, all of that, the Russos handled him so very well. And I think that if given the opportunity to bring him back, again, if there's not some weird mandates put on this character at Marvel Studios, if given the opportunity to bring him back, I do believe that they would be the ones that would do justice to the comeback, that would do justice to the recast, in a major way. I really do like the Russo brothers. As I've said many times about the night of the announcements at SDCC, I thought that them coming back for the next two Avengers films was the best announcement of the night. And not just them, you've got Marcus McFeely well, we don't know if McFeely's, but we know Marcus for sure is going to be writing on. I think they both are actually, but having them both on the script, helming the scripts again. I mean that's what we all were wanting. That's what I had. Well, at least I'm going to speak for everybody. For the few that I had spoken with, that's what a lot of us wanted for the Russos back, to have Marcus McFeely back. So I think that if you're having them handle the multiverse in the next two Avengers films, and knowing that Secret Wars, their words, the Russo brothers, it was obviously the 80s version of Secret Wars, Jim Shooter's, their version of, that was their favorite version of the thing that got them into wanting to direct, the thing that got them into wanting to read more comics and learn more about these characters was that Secret War, the 80s Secret Wars. Of course, they have gone on to talk about the 2015 Secret Wars. And that's where a lot of their conversations, when they talk about Secret Wars, that's where a lot of it comes from. So knowing that they've read the 2015 Secret Wars and knowing that that character, that guy, T'Challa, plays such a pivotal role in that version of Secret Wars. And I feel like obviously we know that they're going to be pulling from both because they had the things signed by Shooter, and they've done the things for the 2015 Secret Wars. So we know that they're going to be taking elements from both of those different versions of Secret Wars and adding them into the MCU. So with that, again, I would assume, I would think that the Russos understand the importance of this character, and the Russos would understand that this character needs to be on screen, especially in the story that you're currently trying to tell. What a shame, and how robbed we would truly be to not have Reed Richards and T'Challa on screen together, to not have his good friend Reed and then them matching their intelligence. Yeah, I mean, we all want that. What a shame it would be if they take that route. I don't know if they're doing panel for panel, in Secret Wars, but to not have T'Challa wielding the gauntlet, if that is something that they decide to do, if the gauntlet plays a role in anything. But there's just this character. I mean, like I said, Time Runs Out opens in Wakanda, so it's just this character is important. This character should be on screen. And I really hope that, especially, well, let's put it this way too. It really may not be if just kind of still piggybacking off of what I was just saying about the Russos and their important, or them knowing how important this character is and how well he was handled by them in Civil War and in Infinity War. I would think and hope. Sorry, I got a message. I would think and hope that it's really not as far off as we think it is, the recast. And I say that because Avengers 5 is not far off. Avengers 5 is still 2026, is it not? They are still doing Doom Wars 2026. Is it Doom Wars? What the fuck is it called now? It's not Doom Wars. It's Doom. Is it Doomsday? Whatever the fuck it's called now. They're still doing Avengers 5 in 2026. So if they still do Avengers 5 in 2026, then that would mean if the character of T'Challa does make an appearance or is scripted in or whatever on the pages while making this film, then we could see that recast fairly soon, which could speak to the things that were said about Damson Idris a couple months ago, which could speak to the things about them wanting Damson Idris to come in and portray this character in the recasted multiversal variant version of him. Again, that's not far off. It's really not. 2025 is 4 months away, 5 months away. And with that being 4 or 5 months away, this year flew by. We've got more than just one Marvel project coming out in 2025 that is going to keep us going and going and going. So I would say if we are going to get this character recasted, truly get him recasted, and in that recast continue on after the rumored soft reboot, then I would think that news is going to come a lot sooner than later. I would say sometime in 2025 that we might start hearing whispers from insiders like Daniel RPK, from Jeff Snyder, from others saying that, Marvel Studios is talking about recasting T'Challa. Marvel Studios is looking at X, Y, and Z to come in and portray a variant of T'Challa. Marvel Studios wants X, Y, and Z to come in and portray a variant of T'Challa, but not just a variant of T'Challa. They want this person to continue on after the soft reboot. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like that may be the time that we start hearing things from insiders, things from the trades, like the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and things like that, if it is truly going to happen, if they are truly going to recast the character. And again, if you're going to do it, I don't want to hear, let's get through the multiversal saga first. No. There is no better time to do it than now, because we are in the multiversal saga. And again, I know that because Marvel, the MCU rather, has not shown us much of the multiverse or anything really of the multiverse, that we don't really, some casuals don't truly understand the magnitude of the multiverse. And with that comes that variant, and we should be having that. We should be getting a variant of T'Challa in the next two Avengers films. So if we do get that in the next two Avengers films, again, I think that is going to come by way of the Russos, and they are the ones that are the in my opinion, at Marvel currently the best to handle this character. At Marvel currently, the best to handle this character is going to be those two. And of course, you've got the writing from Marcus McFeely. So I'm going to hold out a little hope for the coming months when it comes to news. Because again, if they are still sticking with that, and let me just make sure that that's what that is. Let me get that exact date on that. I don't know if I can look that up on Twitter or if I have to look that up on Avengers 5. Does somebody know when that's coming out? When is Doomsday supposed to be coming out? I really didn't want to get on Google, but I will. Okay, May 1st, 2026 is when Doomsday is supposed to still be coming out. So that is a year away, year and a half away. With that being a year and a half away, again, with 2025 being 4 months away, I would expect to really start hearing, because if you even go back to Benedict Cumberbatch, I'm not about to scroll through my bookmarks because it's a little ways in my bookmarks, but Benedict Cumberbatch did a interview a couple months ago, and he was asked about Doctor Strange, and he was asked, did I save that? I think I saved that somewhere else. He was asked about Doctor Strange. He was asked about just what he thought about the character and playing the character, how important the character is to him. And he said that the character is immensely important to him. You know, he loves the character. He loves getting to be the character and do the things that the character gets to do and all that, blah, 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 blah. But after he said all that, and he said, yeah, no, I'm excited to revisit this character later on next summer when we shoot Avengers 5. So he was talking about the summer of 2025. So I'm assuming they're going to start shooting, if that's still on track, if everything's still on track. Obviously things change, but let's just assume that they still start shooting Avengers 5 close to 2025. Well, that would mean that a script would need to be done. That would mean that you would have to know what characters are going to be in it, because you're going to start shooting in 2025. So if that means that summer, that which is going to be, what is this? So a year from now, around that August, July time, we should start hearing whispers before a year from now about this person's been cast in Doomsday Avengers 5. This person's been cast in Doomsday Avengers 5. And that's going to be obviously coming from the scoopers, unless something gets out in the trades from like the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, or something like that that's actually credible. But that's going to be coming from like your Daniel RPK, Fuck My Time to Shine Hello. But that's going to be coming from like Jeff Snyder, Rejected Scooper, Exiled Scooper, all those people like that. It's going to be coming from the Geeky Cast. Those people are going to be the ones that are going to be saying like, oh, rumor has it this person's been cast. And I hope, at least if we are to assume they are going to recast this character for Avengers, that would be when we start hearing that this person has been in talks with Marvel to portray or recast T'Challa. If we do not, that does not mean that he's not going to be in the film. I just find that would be a very hard secret to keep when everything gets out for these movies and things like that. Before I sat down in Deadpool, I knew every cameo that was going to be in Deadpool just from the scoopers and the leaks and things that had come out. I don't think that there was one cameo that I was shocked by. Knew Chris Evans was going to be in it. I actually did a video about that. That's on our channel. So none of the cameos really shocked me. So I feel like it'd be very hard for Marvel. If you take yourself even back to Endgame, Infinity War Online, those were some crazy times too. The things that were coming out about Endgame, the things that were coming out about Infinity War from scoopers and things like that, the plots, all that. So things get out. And with a lot of these things getting out and some of these, Kevin Feige has taken the liberty of saying that they are going to start putting out fake, I think they started doing that with Deadpool and Wolverine, putting out fake scoops to try to throw off the scoopers and things like that. And if they do that, it could really shake shit up when it comes to knowing what's going on in the next films or trying to surmise what might be going on in the next film. But I don't think that that's something that they could keep under wraps. If there are even any whispers at Marvel Studios that they are going to recast this character for the next Avengers film, that's immediately going to, I feel, get out, unless that is said within the confines of like 3 people, maybe the directors, Kevin Feige, and the writers, and then even then, shit still gets out. So I would think then is when we're going to hear possibly some things about the recast, and then obviously other characters that are going to be showing up in Avengers 5. So sooner rather than later, maybe. Sooner rather than later is when we may be getting T'Challa, because they've got even Avengers Secret Wars down as for the very next year, as May 7th, 2027. So if he's not in Avengers 5, if it's not that big a multiversal deal where he's not in Avengers 5, then maybe it would be Avengers 6 with Secret Wars. You know, the rumor is that Doctor Strange 3 is going to adapt Time Runs Out, and that film is going to take place, it's kind of iffy. I've seen some where it said it's taking place before Doomsday, and some where it's saying it's taking place after Doomsday, in between Secret Wars and Doomsday. But if it does adapt a Time Runs Out type of deal, you could possibly even see him there in a Time Runs Out type of deal. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we could see a Time Runs Out type of deal, where I don't expect T'Challa to show up in a damn Doctor Strange 3, but you know, I don't know. Stranger things have happened, so we'll see. We'll see exactly what they do with T'Challa if they decide to recast him for this. Don't know if they're going to, but that would be my hope, especially with the Russos. So with the Russos helming this and Marcus McFeely writing it, I would hope that we'd see him. If we don't, then I don't know. I don't know. Then maybe after their soft reboot, maybe. I don't know. But let's see what some of everyone's thoughts are. Let me see. Moses said, variant will not be our T'Challa, unfortunately. I have said that too. And we have to take a T'Challa from another universe. Yeah, no, I agree. D Sizzle said, I'm taking a dig at Campia over claiming credit over the movement. That too. Yeah, I remember he said he was the first one. What does he say? He's called himself the grandpappy of recast T'Challa. Let's see. Josiah Allen said, Michelle Fanatics fam, it's recast 616 T'Challa after we see a multiversal version in Avengers 5 and 6. Definitely want Jan Noel to as the main 616 T'Challa. And you know what? I still say that. I really do. You know, I'm at a point where I'm just like, God damn, just give me the character. Especially after the shit from 97. The shit from 97 really just rubbed me the wrong way. Because, you know, when I saw that, before I saw T'Chaka in the next few scenes, when I saw that, because I was laying in bed watching that episode. And I literally jumped up and I was like, there he is. And, you know, so that 97 shit rubbed me completely the wrong way. So I completely agree that it does need to be the T'Challa from 616 T'Challa we've already been on a journey with and things like that. Do I think that they're going to do that if they bring him back? I don't know, man. They've made this all so complicated now. Brother Stark said T'Challa was definitely supposed to lead. Yeah, there's in the book The Reign of Marvel by Joanna Robinson, where she talked about where Tom Holland, Chadwick Boseman, and Brie Larson all sat around on set of Endgame and talked about how they were the next big three, how it was going to be them, how they were going to be the three that were going, because those three characters were going to be the next three leading Avengers leading team members of the Avengers, moving forward within the MCU. But then, of course, Chadwick Boseman's tragic passing altered a lot of those plans, which it shouldn't have. It should not have at all. You could have still, you again, as many of us have said, no one was ever saying T'Challa better be in Wakanda forever. None of us were that insensitive to understand that, okay, this is still a business. There's still shit that has to be worked out. This is still someone who passed away. There are still feelings and grieving involved over at that business. But as I've put many times before, in real day, and not in real day, just at your own personal job, if you lose someone, your job is going to give you that time to grieve. But after you've grieved and after they've given you that bereavement time on your schedule, when you come back to work, you are expected to return back to work and work. Again, that's not with the misunderstanding. Now, I don't know, maybe depending on your job, but the misunderstanding that people are still going to have sympathy and be, patient with you on things like that. But at the end of the day, a job still has to be done. At the end of the day, this is still a business. So I would think, that knowing that you still have to come in to work, ready to work regardless. Yes, he passed away. Yes, it's very tragic. Yes, X, Y, and Z, the things I've said before, not being insensitive at all. But a job still has to be done. So you still could have had that conversation that Bree, Tom, and Chad were having and still had that take place within the MCU, just without Chad. The character of T'Challa is what it was. Nobody, the character of T'Challa was going to go on and lead the Avengers, not Chad. The character of T'Challa was going to go on and do whatever else they wanted him to do within the MCU, not Chad. So you could have still done that while honoring Chad with what you wanted to do. I still think, the opening to Wakanda Forever, the Marvel crawl with Chad, to me, that was, even if you wanted to do the X-Men style credit scene at the end of Deadpool, where it's something unpredictable, whatever the fuck the name of the song is with the Green Day, they played it at everybody's graduation. If you have that song with something going on, a montage of videos from behind the scenes of the first Black Panther or things like that, I don't know, there were plenty of other ways to honor Chad than to literally put his funeral on screen for viewers' entertainment and say, hey, but this time we're going to make you pay for it. There was many of other things that could have been done than that. So the conversation that Bree, Tom, and Chad were having still could have taken place. Let's see. Namikaze said, it's not even just Chadwick at this point. I feel like ever since he died, recasting as a whole in media has been controversial, and it sucks because they've based trying to kill the character with the actor. Yep. That is true. Let's see. Stamina said, I'd say, not talking to me. Let's see. SJ said, I honestly don't even think it will be that hard for a new actor. No, because Chadwick, through no fault of his own, got a massively watered down T'Challa outside of Civil War. Yep. Very true. Very true. Scroll down. See, Officially MG said, I still think it is so unserious to have Tom lead anything. Like, Peter is in his late teens / early 20s. What 30 plus heroes is about to follow him just doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that too. I think Tom Holland Spider-Man specifically is too young for that, and he doesn't even really know himself. I don't even say really, take really out. He does not know himself. He's now having to, well, Spider-Man 4 has changed a lot, but he's still now having to rediscover himself, and everything like that. So to have a person who is lost leading a team seems a little strange to me. But I've also said the same thing about Sam Wilson's Cap. I mean, you're now telling people like Sentry and people like Hulk that are super powered and people like Wanda to follow a powerless man, and the Stars and Stripes. That just doesn't compute to me. Let's see. Grand Region Thrax said, I've been staying away from the scoops and to keep the surprise for me when I see the movie. Yeah, that's it. For me, it's a little hard because I have my because I do YouTube and trying to post on certain things. There are certain things I do block that I don't want to see, especially now as I've gotten more into YouTube. Like back in the day when we were streaming every day, we used to cover leaks and plots. All the time. But I don't know if you guys noticed with Deadpool, we stopped because I just didn't want to know anything else about Deadpool. But unfortunately, I still knew everything. I didn't want to know anything else about Deadpool. I don't know shit about what's next. Oh, Cap. No, I know things. I don't know shit about Thunderbolts, but that's just because one, I don't expect that film to do anything but be aggressively okay, and I don't need it to be anything more than that. So let's see what else. What's up, Ricardo? Appreciate you being here. Professor the Film Fan, what's up? Don Juan Studios said leak rumors Blade started filming. What? Hold on. Okay, we can move away from some of the. We'll move to some of the other stuff. Let me move to some of the other stuff. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what's going on with some of the other things that I had down here. So let's go Blade first. I have not seen this about Blade. I haven't seen this about. Let me see. Is this real? I'm so sick of Blade. Oh, I'm so sick of Blade. Every day with Blade, there is something new that comes out saying that Blade is. Did y'all see what Steve said? As a matter of fact, before we get into that, before we get into Wesley, what Bo DeMayo pitch was for a Blade 4 with Wesley that involves Brother Voodoo. We'll get into that. Some of the other Blade stuff, we'll get into all that. But before we do, just see what this nigga said about Cat Williams. So I don't know where Steve was, but Steve was doing, he was on stage somewhere, it looked like an arena somewhere, not a big arena, but there were a lot of people there, like a show somewhere. But there was someone else on stage with him, and they were sitting in chairs, so maybe he's being interviewed. I really don't know. But he was talking, you go back to Club Shay Shay, what Cat Williams was saying about most of the Kings of Comedy outside of Bernie Mac, and things he was saying about Steve and things like that. And I had said after the interview had aired and things like that, I was like, oh, I didn't expect Ricky Smiley to reply. I didn't expect Cedric to reply. I knew damn sure Tyler Perry wasn't going to reply. But I just knew Steve wasn't going to say anything. I was like, Steve's not going to say anything at all. But months later, now here we are, where Steve was on stage and he said that he would slap the perm out of Cat. He said that he said when somebody like that comes in, and this is not verbatim, when somebody like that says something about you, you don't stoop down to their level and start talking shit back to them, while in the same breath stoop down to the level that he said he wasn't going to stoop down to, and said everything that he said about Cat. So is Cat going to reply? I don't know. Is Cat going to say something back to Steve? I'm not sure. But I just thought that Steve's was, it was interesting. It was late, very late. I just thought that you held all that in this time and let it all out. But it was. If you haven't seen it, it's online. It's everywhere. I mean, it's being talked about. Oh no, this is a biopic. I guess they're doing for Steve Harvey. So it's everywhere. It's being talked about. But let's see. So I guess these are. Let me find it first. Hold on. Let me find it first. The stuff with Wesley. Let's see. Okay, no, I have not. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for to see if they, because I know Don Juan said that they said something about Blade filming. I have not. Now I have notifications that get sent to me on Twitter from all the scoopers and things, are the ones that I have the notifications sent to me on. I have not seen that. I've not seen that Blade started filming. If Blade starts filming, I will be extremely shocked because I'm gonna be honest with you. So let's go ahead and get into the Blade stuff. Oh, Kat did respond. What did he say? Hold on before I get into that. Black Panther said Kat did respond. What did can someone link me? Was it a video? Was it something because he doesn't do Twitter or anything like that. Oh shit, yeah he does. There's his Twitter right there. What did Kat say? Who hasn't heard what Steve said? You guys want to hear what Steve said? I mean, it's right here. So who hasn't heard what Steve said? I'll play it real quick.
Hater that's doing pity anti-ass hater who is, and you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Always know that. Don't get off the wall to dress some pity any-ass boy who ain't got shit going for himself. Now you done stopped your climb up on the wall so you can come down here and talk to his little punk ass. Don't do that, man. I stay away from it. Now do I want to? Yes. Because I'm a human being and I'm hood. I used to be a fighter and I still got hands. They slow, but if you get up on me real close, I can still knock your monkey ass out. I just don't have the quickness I have. But I still know how to turn my hip and shift that weight, and I'll knock your short ass out. I'll shoot your perm straight out your head.
This was shit he was saying. This was shit he was definitely saying the night the interview aired at home. Black Panther, where is it on Instagram? Is it like, did the Shade Room post it? Or, I'm sorry, we are definitely getting to the topics, but this is, I did want to, if Kat said something back, that's a funny nigga. I would like to see what he said. I don't see it, but if somebody can link me, it'd be funny. Okay, all right. Anyway, Wesley Snipes, Blade, Mahershala Ali. All right, Black Panther. I'm gonna go back to that in just a second. Let me get to this though. I'm gonna check that because I gotta see it. Mahershala Ali's Blade, as I've said many times before, I do not believe that that's a real thing. I don't believe that that film is ever coming out. I don't think that it's going to see the light of day. You've had Mahershala Ali's Blade, or Mahershala Ali's lawyers that have been involved. You've had so many different directors and writers that have been involved. You've had, I believe, six writers, 4 directors that have all dropped. Anytime that Marvel talks about Blade, or the last time that Marvel themselves actually talked about Blade was right before Deadpool and Wolverine, when Kevin Feige was doing his promotions for Deadpool and Wolverine. He got asked about a lot of different Marvel projects, and one of the ones he got asked about was Blade. And when he got asked about Blade, he said that they currently are pinning down a script for Blade. He's seen the script, he likes some of the things that he's seen, but right now they're just trying to finish up the script. At that time, he said it's still rated R. He said he feels like that's inherent with Blade. You got to have it be rated R, X, Y, and Z. We don't have a director for it. In another weird turn of events, the other day, Deadline put out an article talking about Blade, but then they put that Jan Damage was still on board to direct Blade, which confused the shit out of me. At that point, when they shared that, I was like, oh, just fucking stop. I'm done. Like, stop. Let me off the train. I don't want to ride this shit anymore, because every person that keeps getting on, it's something new with this person saying this person doing that, this person writing this. So I'm like, Mahershala Ali at this point. The next thing I think we're going to hear is Mahershala Ali has walked away. He's done. He does not want to do this as Blade anymore. You have to remember, he went to Marvel in 20 whatever the fuck and said, I want to be Blade. And again, to Kevin Feige's words, when Mahershala Ali walks into your studio, your office, and says he wants to play Blade, you give him Blade. Well, That was in 2019 that he was announced as Blade at SDCC. I figured, okay, it's been 5 years. We've not heard anything about Blade from the MCU outside of Mahershala Ali being frustrated, outside of Mahershala Ali's voice in Eternals, outside of him possibly being the Nick Fury of the MCU and collecting all of the Midnight Suns together and all that type of shit. We've not seen what this man is going to look like in the MCU. We've not seen anything outside of fan art from Mahershala Ali as Blade. So when you get Wesley Snipes coming on screen in Deadpool and Wolverine and saying there's only going to be one Blade, there's only one Blade, there's only ever going to be one Blade, then you get the fan receptions from the different audiences that were watching, and not just the fan receptions from the theaters, but even on YouTube. My highest viewed video on my channel now is the Wesley Snipes video we did. I think it's got 46,000 views. It's got 1,000 something likes, and the comments are going daily, constantly throughout the day. I'm getting comments on it, and it's because it's everyone saying the exact same thing. No one, you got a few people that are like, oh, we can have both, or oh, give Mahershala Ali a chance, but majority, 98% of those comments are, move away from Ali. We want Wesley Snipes. We want this. We want that. We want this for Blade 4. No one ever asked for Mahershala Ali. I did not know that was the fan reception out from Mahershala Ali. I thought that a lot of people were pretty excited to have Mahershala Ali come in and play Blade, but it seems, again, now with Wesley Snipes coming back into the role, a lot of people are wanting to just either sideline it, come back to it, or just not do it all together. And again, you have that I'm going to call it a 2%. That's being mean. A 5% that is really like, okay, yeah, we still want the Mahershala Ali Blade film. And I would also say, with it being 5-6 years since we've seen Mahershala Ali come out and say that he's going to play Blade, are there people still really excited for a Blade film like that? Because I'm going to be honest with you, in 2019 I really was. I was excited for a Blade film, but currently, in the messiness of the MCU, in the messiness of what's going on with Kang, and the messiness of Robert Downey Jr. actually playing Victor Von Doom and not a variant of Tony Stark, in the messiness of how bad and disconnected the shows are, plot holes and this and this and that, do I give a flying fuck about Blade right now? I'm gonna be honest with you, personally, in my humble opinion, I don't. I don't have to have a Blade film. I don't need a Blade film. I don't need the Thunderbolts. I don't need Agatha. I didn't need Vision Quest until Ultron was announced to be back in it, which we're gonna get to that. Unless it's serving a purpose, and again, it's not catering to my needs within the MCU. I'm just speaking on what I personally don't care for that's coming out. Unless it's going toward the multiverse, unless it's pushing us toward the story they're currently trying to tell, I just really don't give a fuck, my dear. I don't. Agatha is going to do absolutely nothing for me, and I know if you've been here, this is probably a change in tune for me, because you've heard me say since Agatha was announced, can't wait for Agatha, can't wait for Agatha, can't wait for Agatha, and I really do love the magic and mystical side of not just the MCU. I've said this before, American Horror Story Coven is without a question the best season of American Horror Story they have ever done. And it's because witches, it's because voodoo, it's because of the magic and all that. That shit's really dope. I love it. And it's not just made up. That is something that is actually real, voodoo, magic. And so I love all of that. Agatha's not giving me any of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. The trailer that they gave for Agatha was, there's going to be a lot of singing. Witches are going to turn into animals, and which is not outside of, witchy shit, but Joe Locke's most recent comments on Wiccan, I was not vibing with, I'm going to be honest with you, and I really like Joe Locke. I think Heartstopper is a good show. I think that Joe Locke is a great actor. I thought when he was announced as Wiccan, I thought, okay, would not have been my first choice, but I like him as Wiccan. It's the comments that have come out, and the comments where he said they asked him about toxic Marvel fans and this and this and that, and he said that he understands that Marvel fans are toxic and this and that, but it doesn't matter because he's in the film, and we're just jealous that he's getting to do what we're not getting to do. That, in my opinion, is not the way you approach the already ruffled fandom. The fandom is already in a weird place. And when you're coming out and making statements like that, especially with a show that's already not going to be well received, I don't think that that's the a way to approach it. And like I said, I really love the magic side of things, so I'm gonna tune into Agatha. It's not something I'm not gonna tune into. I'm gonna watch it, and hopefully it doesn't get boring. But I'm really excited for Wiccan. I still do want to see Locke as Wiccan. I want to see his take on Wiccan, or what they're doing with him exactly. And hopefully it shocks. Hopefully it shocks. But it is a third part, in which we're going to get into that in a second. But let me just kind of penetrate back here to Blade. So the newest things that we've heard is that Blade is currently in limbo. Is that the film is maybe going to get made, maybe not going to get made. And this is coming from Alex over at the Cosmic Circus. Again, we've not heard anything as recently from Mahershala Ali. Now, that takes us back to the Wesley Snipes deal. Beau DeMayo, who is the writer and showrunner for X-Men 97, who is in the current hot water with Marvel, and his lawyers are involved with the alleged pictures of him in superhero attire, like OnlyFans type of shit, getting sent out to different workers over at X-Men 97, and he was asked to stop, kept doing it, and this is all alleged. Now, his lawyer came out and said that don't believe any of that. This is, defamation, X, Y, and Z. We talked about it on the Pantheon, if you want to go check that out. So Beau had pitched that he thought that you should do a vampire dystopia where they learned to daywalk and took over. Humans are cattle. Blade was desiccated and embodied, and Brother Voodoo resurrects him so they can wipe out all the vampires, treat it like a Kurosawa. I like the idea. And again, if you're going to do a Blade 4 film with Wesley Snipes, that's not bad. And I really like Beau. I really was... rewind. If the shit that has not come out, if the shit that's come out about Beau is alleged and not true when it comes to the SA shit, I really like Beau's mind when it comes to Marvel. I really like how he handles characters, not just the X-Men, but just what he was saying about, doing this whole daywalking thing and having Brother Voodoo be involved. And, Exiled Scooper had put out last week that word on the street, which I don't know how true this is. Word on the street was that Marvel Studios was looking at Lakeith Stanfield to come in and portray Blade and give him the Blade deal, because Mahershala Ali is rumored to be walking away soon, because they want to give him Blade because they felt bad about him in the whole Silver Surfer deal. Now, if you remember, he had put on Instagram after it was announced that Gardner had gotten the role as Silver Surfer. He said, well, damn, I guess I didn't get it. But he quickly deleted that. Not before it was screenshotted, obviously. So he had said that Marvel felt bad about not getting him the Silver Surfer role, so they wanted to give him this role instead, and it was going to be announced later on. I don't believe that in the least bit, because you don't get a two-time Academy Award winner like Mahershala Ali. Not to say Lakeith Stanfield is not a great actor, but I don't see that. What I did see a fan say that they thought that Lakeith would make a better Brother Voodoo, and that's why I brought this up, because if you did want to have Wesley Snipes come in and do a Blade 4, Lakeith as a Brother Voodoo, I could see more. He would still have to put on weight just like he would have had to do as Blade, but I could see him as a Brother Voodoo and coming in that type of film with Wesley and giving us a Blade 4. So I would personally I'm not one of the ones saying I don't want Mahershala Ali or just get rid of Mahershala Ali. I'm saying I'm not against a Blade 4. I'm not against seeing Wesley Snipes doing more in that role, but that also plays to the whole conversation of, yes, but we want other people in these roles. And I completely agree with you. That's why I'm not saying I don't want to not see Mahershala Ali. I'm simply saying, after I saw Wesley Snipes in Deadpool, I didn't know that I wanted to see more of Wesley Snipes as Blade. And he wants it. He wants it too. He's been sharing shit on Twitter. He had given a quote a couple weeks before Deadpool and Wolverine, saying that he had given Mahershala Ali his blessing, and that it was all on him now. But it's weird, bro. That's why I said, was Mahershala in on the joke? Because why say that joke if you've given him your blessing? Not only that, why are you retweeting things like articles from comicbook.com saying that fans are demanding what's the title of that? The title of that article that he shared was Deadpool Wolverine star Ryan Reynolds calls for more Wesley Snipes Blade, shares new steals. But within that article, they start talking about how fans aren't wanting Mahershala Ali. So my thing is, if you are endorsing Mahershala Ali, you've given him your blessing and all this, obviously he wants a Blade 4 film. He's talked about that in 2018. He talked about it in like 2022. He talked about it in 2020. He's talked about it in several different interviews before of wanting to do a Blade 4. At one point in time, they even had a plot and script all together. So he's talked about that. So of course he's going to retweet those things. Of course he's seen the fan reception and like, yeah, this is dope. This is what I've been wanting. So I'm not saying get rid of Mahershala Ali. I'm not saying get rid of Wesley Snipes. I'm saying listen to the fans. I'm saying listen to what the fans are wanting, and that the fans are wanting a Wesley Snipes Blade film that does not have to be within the MCU. Marvel has the power to make films outside of the MCU or whatever it is you want to do. The spotlight type deal, however. I mean, I don't know. Even if you want to put him within the MCU and it's a variant, and yeah, I don't know. But there are many of other ways that you can do it outside of just, nixing Mahershala Ali. So I don't say get rid of Mahershala at all. I just say that it is the fans, they have spoken on what they want. So, but what would you guys want? Would you want Wesley Snipes to come in and do a Blade 4 film, or would you want it to continue on with, Mahershala Ali, or both? There's always the both thing, or, whatever. So how would you guys want that to go with Blade 4? Stamina laughed at Lakeith. Yeah, that's what I said too. When I saw that Lakeith as Blade or as Brother Voodoo, I was like, don't know about that. D Stizzle said Lakeith looks like Dave Chappelle's younger brother. Let's see. KOS Music, appreciate you being here. Official Liam G said, I think the issue is he's confusing people that have issues with him not being Jewish with people being stupid about the character being stereotypical gay. Yeah, I've seen the Jewish conversations too. I've seen all those on Twitter as well. Yeah, I've seen it all. I've seen the... Yeah, and then the comments about this, the being, because he said he thought that when you get a call from Marvel that you then start to bulk up and you start to put on muscle. He said, but no, they told him that they want him to stay skinny and twinky, and that he needs to stay exactly the way he is. Which, again, I don't have a problem with. I like Joe a lot. I think he's gonna do a good job in the role. But that's not to the character of Wiccan. Wiccan is a masked gay character. He's not. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see exactly how, because Joe is, even in Heartstopper, Joe is, in real life, he's a twink, so I don't know exactly. I don't know how they're going to play the role. I don't know exactly how they're going to play the role, but I did see all of that online with everybody upset. No, Billy isn't like official Liam G said. Billy isn't bulky, the bulkiest of guy either. He's not. I'm sure once. I doubt he's even going to get the costume in this. I want to see him in the suit I want to see him in his costume more than in the street clothes that I'm sure he's wearing in the entire Agatha show. And if he does get the comic or MCU suit, or however it's going to look, we'll see. Grand Region Thrag said, I feel like if they make a Snipes Blade movie, the most we get is a Mantle Pass movie, and I don't want that. SMH. I want to see Blade in the years to come. Right. I've seen people saying that too. Let's see. Brother Stark said, Marvel should have given every dime they made off of Wakanda Forever to Cancer Colon Foundation. I saw, that was a conversation during those Wakanda Forever days. Black Panther said Wesley could just get a big deal at Marvel. Oh, no, he said Wesley could just be getting a dig at Marvel. Yeah, possible so. Yeah, D. Stissel said Ryan Reynolds ain't helping the situation. I have seen that too. He is not calling for them to make this another Blade film and all that, a Logan type send off. Xavier said hopefully he suits up at least in the post credit scene, and officially MG said, "Oh, I'm gonna be so upset if he doesn't have a suit at the end of the. I'm gonna be too." But you guys know that is sometimes the Marvel formula where we don't. I mean, well, most shows we do get the suit at the end. I mean, Wanda got the official Scarlet Witch suit at the end of Agatha. I think we saw Agatha's actual suit at the second to last episode of the finale, or the finale itself. I don't remember. So most of them don't. So I if we do, I hope we do though. I really do. I want to see what he looks like in the deal. I was excited when the Demiurge was announced to be joining the MCU. I mean, we all knew with WandaVision they were going to have to, age the boys up, and we'd be eventually seeing an older Billy and Tommy. And we're going to get to the Vision Quest stuff here soon with Vision and the rumored Tommy stuff and all that. But yeah, I'm excited. I was at one point really excited for it. My excitement for Vision Quest, which we can go to now, has honestly gone up because of James Spader being announced as Ultron and being back. This is not where I was expecting to see Ultron first. I thought we were going to... it was either Vision Quest or Armor Wars. It was up in the air, whichever one they were going to do. But I was kind of expecting Armor Wars because it seemed like that was the one that the rumors were going with a lot heavier. So we know that a few days ago, James Spader was announced, and this was by the Hollywood Reporter, so a credible trade, that he is coming back as Ultron. So we'll have James Spader back as Ultron for the Vision Quest series. Now, Vision Quest is going to be about a self-discovery journey that Vision is on, trying to discover who he was and who he is. It has also been rumored that if you know anything about the comics and Vision's family outside of his family with Wanda, he has the android family with Viz and Viv and the rest of his children and all of them, and they're rumored to be in the show as well. This is what the Hollywood Reporter had to say about James Spader, though. They said this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Ultron was seemingly destroyed at the end of the movie, so it's unclear how he would return and what kind of relationship he would have with Vision. The series is meant to be a third part of a trilogy that started with WandaVision and continues on with Agatha All Along, which debuts in September on Disney+. The new show is eyeing to shoot in England in 2025. So they're going to start shooting in early 2025 for Vision Quest. Paul Bettany, they started writing the script a while ago. Jeff Snyder, I think, shared that back in 2022, that they were starting to write a writer's room for Vision Quest, and that it is going to start getting the meat and potatoes of the show and what they wanted the show to be. Now, what we know about, obviously, the plot, it's just now White Vision searches for his own identity in hopes of regaining what SWORD agents who built his body took from him. Vision Quest release date is 2026, and it's a part of Phase 6. Some of the rumors, again, Vision's family, including Viv and Vin, will reportedly appear in the Disney Plus Vision Quest series. Marvel Studio wants Javen Walton. Now, everybody knows who Javen Walton is. Javen Walton is the kid from Euphoria. They want him to portray Tommy. I don't like it, and I'm going to get to it in just a second. Javen Walton to portray the teen in Vision Quest. Teen is the same code name that they used for Joe Locke and Agatha. So if you remember, there was a rumored teen character supposed to show up in Agatha before we knew that it was Wiccan and going to be Joe Locke. That was what it was, the code name for it. We all knew it was going to be Wiccan because it was like, okay, WandaVision, so blah, blah, blah. It was either going to be Tommy or Billy, one or the other. if you remember before Multiverse of Madness, and I should have had this pulled up, but I didn't pull it up. If you remember before Multiverse of Madness, there was the actor that did the screen testing to play Tommy. Damn, what was his name? Damn, that did the screen testing to do Tommy. So it was a whole. It's like a 3-minute scene that he reading from the script that he was doing for a audition. And he's talking. It sounds like in the script he's in jail, I believe, and this is Tommy. He's in jail or something like that, or he got visited in jail, and he's seeing everything that Wanda did on the news and Multiverse of Madness and blah 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 blah. This was when Multiverse of Madness was a completely different film. So there was that actor that was rumored to be Tommy, but the Javen Walton thing, I don't care for. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want him to be Tommy. That wasn't my thought for Tommy. I wish I could remember. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys because I'm about to find that shit. I know I have it on here. Let me see. That's what it was. Okay, here it is. Boom. This is the guy right here that did the audition for Tommy. Him. I don't know him as an actor or anything like that. I've never seen him in anything, but this is so much better to me than Javen Walton, and the reason I say that is because looks wise. He doesn't look like Tommy. He's not Javen's not Tommy to me. Javen's not Billy. Javen's not neither one of the twins. But this actor, what's his name? Julian. He's not American. Julian DeBarker. I like he did a whole audition tape. This is the audition tape. I'm not playing the whole thing. It's like I'm not playing it at all. It's 3 minutes long. But he did an audition where he's playing Tommy, and I believe in this clip he's talking to Billy about their mother because he says, he says something like "your mom, not my mom" or something like that. Blah 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 blah. So I would have personally liked that choice much better than Javen, if that's a real thing. I truly kind of believe it is. Marvel, when it comes to actors and grabbing certain actors from TV shows that are popular right now and Euphoria. Even though it's been quite a while since we've seen the how many seasons of Euphoria do we have currently? 2 or 3? Since the last season, it's been a while since we've seen it. But he's a hot actor, hot commodity right now. He boxes and all that stuff, so he's in shape. You've already got the somebody that's got the physique and in shape and things like that. So, but not Tommy to me. Not Tommy to me. Doesn't look like it. But then they go on to say some other things about Vision Quest will feature elements that will set up the West Coast Avengers and will set up Ultron to return as a bigger villain in follow-up projects. Now, that is something I do believe. I do believe that we probably will see elements of the West Coast Avengers not only in Vision Quest, but we'll see elements of the West Coast Avengers in Armor Wars 2, if that is still a real thing, which we're going to get to. The West Coast Avengers... you've already got Wonder Man coming out. You've already got, and that was my speculation when Wonder Man was announced, because you had the love triangle between Wanda, Vision, and Wonder Man, and then of course you've got everything going on with the West Coast Avengers and those, and Wonder Man's a part of it. Armor Wars. Rhodey's a part of it. Wanda's a part of it. White Vision's a part of it. Quicksilver's a part. You've got, the West Coast Avengers are right there to possibly be made if that's something that Marvel wants to do, but we're hearing that they're going to adapt elements of that. Elizabeth Olsen's return as Wanda will be in flashbacks is what we're hearing. It's not going to be Elizabeth Olsen coming back to film new scenes as far as like present day Wanda, even though she is not dead. She's not dead. I've been saying that since Multiverse of Madness. Everybody's like, oh, Wanda's dead. No, she's not. Wanda's not dead. What? So I don't think it's going to be in new scenes that she's coming back to film anything at all for this. It may be, but we're just hearing right now that it is flashbacks that we're going to be seeing, because this, I think, is more so about Vision. WandaVision was about Wanda. Vision Quest, and if we're believing that's a 3-part trilogy, WandaVision was about Wanda. Vision Quest is about Vision, and for whatever fucking reason Agatha's in this, Agatha is about Agatha, Billy, and how that's gonna all connect. So I don't know that she's gonna play a heavy role in it. They also said that part of the Armor Wars plot is being used for the series. So what parts of the plot of Armor Wars that is, I'm not sure. We know that damage control was a huge part of Armor Wars. Stark Tech is a huge part of Armor Wars. So I'm not really sure what these plot elements are that are going to be used from Armor Wars and put into Vision Quest. It's also said it will be a prelude to the Scarlet Witch movie. Now, it's been rumored for a while that Scarlet Witch is getting her own movie. And I really do believe that Elizabeth Olsen is going to get her own movie, because when it comes to characters that are beloved within Marvel, as like you get Loki, people love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. People love Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch. I think she does a phenomenal job. Multiverse of Madness should not have been about her, but would not have been what the 5 out of, or the 6 out of 10 that I give Multiverse of Madness, it would not have been even that without Wanda. To me, WandaVision is one of the best projects Marvel has done post Endgame. I think WandaVision is completely brilliant. I love Elizabeth Olsen's acting in it, and I love her as a Scarlet Witch. So do I think that she will be back? Yes. Do I think that the Scarlet Witch film is going to happen? Yes. Is this a prelude? Possibly so. Vision Quest is being made as a Marvel Spotlight. So we've heard instead of a series, it might just be a Spotlight, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be a series, because there's a lot more that they're trying to tell than what they're able to do within a Spotlight time frame. And then it also says Ultron will have a major role in the series and isn't just back as a cameo. He will appear again. So, it's happening. Vision Quest is something that, we talked about a while back when it was announced. I made its very own video. And I hope that they handle Vision well, because the last time we saw Vision in Infinity War, he was getting his ass kicked. And I'm ready to see something good with Vision. Again, at one point in time, bro, I was really excited for some of this stuff. Like, I really was. At one point in time when Vision Quest was announced, I was like, oh, that's dope. That's dope, because I really like the shit with WandaVision. It's all tying in. It's just been so long. I understand that these shows and things take time to make. We had a whole, it's just been a while. It's been a while, and I need to get, I guess, reinvigorated about some of these side projects that aren't Secret Wars. Some of these projects that aren't just directly taking us to Secret Wars. So, but that's Vision Quest. There's not really much else known about Vision Quest outside of that. The biggest exciting thing is that James Spader is coming back as Ultron, so we'll get to see that showdown between Ultron and Vision again. What would really be dope is if Ultron actually took over Vision this time, and we got to see what we saw in What If, where it's Vision's body, but it's Ultron. That would be sick. Do I think they're going to do something like that? I'm not really sure, but I do think we are going to get a really good fight between White Vision and Ultron. I hope so. James Spader hasn't acted in a while, by the way, so he is coming back into acting specifically for this Ultron role. So for them to get him back in, I feel like it would have to be special. So, but let me know down below what you guys are thinking. What do you think of the Vision Quest stuff coming out? What do you think about some of the rumors? What do you think about Javen Walton being possibly pursued by Marvel as Tommy, Scarlet Witch coming back, and just this whole trilogy thing with Wanda? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let's see, thoughts. Let's see. I think Chill said he needs to hear about the episode length. I can guarantee you guys, it's probably 30-minute episodes. So, and when I say that, 22-minute episodes, because you got the opening, you got the credits. I don't think they're gonna be that long. I really don't. I don't think they're gonna be that long. Marvel has got to stop this now. See, with Daredevil Born Again, that's shit. I can't wait for that. Daredevil Born Again is 18 episodes. That's a season. That's a series. Marvel has got to stop these 6-episode looks at things. Let me see. I guess we got our. Oh, we'll go to that in just a minute. I guess we just got our Q text me. We just got our first look at the Thing in Fantastic Four. Obviously, this is not CGI. He doesn't have any CGI or anything on, but it's practical. They're using practical, at least on set. I'll go to that in just a second. So, hold on. Let me go back to the comments. D Sizzle said, really annoying when they build to costume reveals like their costume has its own storyline. Grace said, we just seen multiple Wolverines and Spider-Man. We can see 2 Blades. Yep. Chill said that already. I read that. Brother Stark said they will just keep spin-offs from WandaVision, keep doing spin-offs from WandaVision characters. Yeah. Because it was one of their most successful fucking things after Endgame. So like, how can we repeat this success? How can we keep repeating this success? But I feel like he didn't strike the iron when it was hot enough, bro. You have to remember, WandaVision, do y'all remember that time? I was waking up at 2, we all were, most of us were, waking up at 2 a.m. to watch WandaVision and then getting online on Twitter afterward to have a conversation about how crazy the episode. It was a crazy Marvel time. It was a crazy time to be a Marvel fan. I don't have those moments anymore. I'm not waking up at 2 to watch no damn show. I'm not... Like, what was the last show? What was the last show? I don't even remember what the last show was. Was it Loki season 2? No, I don't remember. But that speaks to how much I probably didn't give a fuck. I mean, if the last show, I can't remember. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Was it Ms. Marvel? I don't know. So it speaks to like people not being excited for a lot of this shit, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just a different time in Marvel. It's a different time right now. Grenridge and Thrag said, I don't think that's a good idea, bro. Respectfully, these fans are toxic. Next thing you know, people will demand more Snipes. Oh, yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. They're demanding Snipes now. I'm telling you, go to our video, the most latest video we did on Blade, Wesley Snipes, and look at the comments. Those are some of the most toxic comments. You'd be hard-pressed to find a good thing said in those comments, and there's almost 1,000 about Mahershala Ali. I've seen people in there saying, fuck Mahershala Ali. I've seen people in there saying, no one asked for this. I've seen people in there saying, Mahershala Ali is not Blade. He's not a martial artist. He's this and this and that. It's just not. Yeah, no, you're very right. Toxic. Let's see. Q said, ain't nobody trying to see that shit. Talking about Vision Quest. D Stizzle said, I want Quicksilver back. Wanda without him, Polaris, Magneto around is ridiculous. Yeah, it is. It was very weird to kill him in old Age of Ultron, but that was a who directed Age of Ultron? Come on, damn my brain today. Josh Whedon. That was a Josh Whedon deal, and hopefully we even get, not to say that I hate, because there are people hate Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, by no means is it perfect, but it is a good Avengers film. That by no means is Age of Ultron perfect, but that opening scene with their team camaraderie, how they're functioning as a team, that shit, some good shit. The fight between Hulk and Iron Man, great. It's a good film. I really like Age of Ultron. But hopefully without Josh Whedon's involvement, you now get a much better Ultron. Not to say Ultron wasn't great. He wasn't fantastic, but not to say that he wasn't that good. You still get a better Ultron. Stamina said, cool, I'm not campaigning for the Snipes return, just that if I see him again, I want it to be just once, and I want Ali to run things by the movie's end. If not, also fine. Yeah, I think that's honestly how I feel about it too. Like if we get Wesley Snipes, I'm cool with it. If we get Blade with Mahershala, I'm cool with it. If we don't, I'm also cool with it. I really am. Brother Stark said, Wonderman, Birdman is playing his dad in the movie. Yeah. That's my son, man. Put some respect on his name. Black Panther said, Marvel doesn't even talk about... No, they haven't. Actually, I'm about to get to Wonder Man. Let's go ahead and jump into Wonder Man since we're staying on track with the... Before I jump into Wonder Man, let me show y'all what Q sent me. So this is the I think he said he tagged me. Oh, he sent it to me on Twitter. Oh shit, this is not Twitter. Hold on. Let me pull it up. It's just not. It's no. This is no CGI. There's no special effects. I like the fact that it's practical though. They're not using, because on the Infinity War and Endgame sets, it was. Fuck. Why am I blanking on names today? Who plays Thanos? Fuck. It was they weren't using, like, he didn't have a Thanos head on. It was just him with all the dots. So you've got Chris Hemsworth putting the axe in Brolin, thank you, in Brolin's chest, and it's like not practical, they're acting off of the effects already, thinking the effects are already there. So it's practical. I don't know how you get the thing wrong. Let me take that back, because you can get the thing wrong. Yeah, right there. You can get that one's not that bad of a picture of him, though, to be honest. Shit movie, but that's not that bad of a picture of him. So yeah, you can do the thing wrong, but they'll touch it up. They'll touch him up. He'll look better. All that good shit. He'll look better. But yeah, Josh Brolin, the shit they were doing with him, they didn't have any of the practical effects. So, but now, Wonder Man. Yeah, you're right, Xavier. We have seen him wrong several times. Now, Wonder Man. Okay, Wonder Man is a project that was announced by Marvel Studios. I don't remember the fuck when. It was announced by Marvel Studios a little bit after WandaVision, I believe. And the reason it was a little bit after WandaVision, again, what we said when talking about Vision Quest, wanting to repeat that success of WandaVision by continuing on these spin-offs with characters that most people don't really give a fuck about. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am one of those that don't give a fuck about Wonder Man. The only time Wonder Man is any interest to me, and this is just me, is his relationship with Wanda. Outside of that, I don't care about Simon Williams. I don't care. If he shows up, yay, Wonder Man's here. If he doesn't, okay. I don't care. And then they made it even worse by making Yahya Abdul-Mateen II Simon Williams. If you know anything about Simon Williams, you know anything about Wonder Man, Simon Williams is a white character. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is a black man that is going to be portraying a white character. That is not the representation we asked for when we're asking recast T'Challa, when we're asking for Blue Marvel, when we're asking for other black characters that are within Marvel with other black actors that you could be using to portray these black characters, but instead you go and grab those black actors and have them portray white characters, or you have them portray aliens or robots or something that covers their blackness. Not to say that Wonder Man is not going to have his full black skin on in this. He is definitely going to be a black character, but that's just contradictory to what we are saying. So when Marvel announced him as Wonder Man, a lot of people were like, why is that? Why is he playing Wonder Man? But outside of the political reasons with it and things like that, we've not heard anything about this damn show. Other than that, I think they're done. I think the show is done. The director is Dustin Daniel Creighton, who directed Shang-Chi 2. Alex, let me hold on. Let me get my notes. Let's start with this. Outside of everything that I just said about Wonder Man, the only other thing that we've heard outside that Wonder Man is happening and Yahya is playing him is most recently about Wonder Man, because Disney is being sued. Disney is being sued with a $36,000 fine after a lighting technician on the set of Wonder Man passed away by falling through a rotten catwalk. it's sad that it took the death of an individual on the set of Wonder Man for us to get any type of update on what the fuck is going on with Wonder Man. And this still doesn't even tell us what is going on with Wonder Man. It just simply tells us that, oh, Wonder Man is actually happening because someone died on the goddamn set. So yeah, no, it's real. Someone passed away on the set. An investigation concluded that the catwalk had a deteriorated section on the wood, which was improperly nailed to the roof of support, and Marvel is going to appeal, or Disney is going to appeal this fine charge. So it's, that's the most recent update we've gotten on Wonder Man, is that an individual involved with the show passed away, and that's what we know. D23 just passed. There was no mention of Wonder Man. SDCC just passed. There was no mention of Wonder Man. I expected Yaya to be there. I expected Dustin Daniel to come out with them. I expected the Grim Reaper. I forget brother who's playing Grim Reaper. I expected him to come out with them. But no, there was nothing. Here's what we do know as far as the things we do know about Wonder Man. The plot. The main plot is about a stuntman and aspiring actor played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who gets superpowers while filming. Wonder Man, an in-universe superhero film franchise. Goes on to say studio execs cast him as Wonder Man, but force him to become Wonder Man in real life to promote the film he hates at it at first, but ends up becoming a proper superhero. And this is still the plot. By the end, it sets up Wonder Man as becoming one of the strongest Avengers and even stronger than Captain Marvel. He was originally going to be very important in Avengers Kang Dynasty, and we've now assumed that he will still be cast in Avengers Avengers Doomsday, and that plot synopsis is coming from Exiled Scooper. So that is the plot synopsis that's coming from Exiled Scooper, and just in case, we'll go through that one more time. The main plot: stuntman is an aspiring actor played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who gets his superpowers while filming Wonder Man and an in-universe superhero film franchise. Studio execs cast him as Wonder Man, but force him to become Wonder Man in real life to promote the film. He hates it at first, but ends up becoming a proper superhero. By the end of the series, he is set up as Wonder Man and becomes one of the strongest Avengers, even stronger than Captain Marvel. And again, that is coming from Exiled Scooper. And he will be in Avengers Doomsday, rumored-wise. So that should be the next place that we see him outside of his series, if that ever sees the light of day. Then it goes on to say that the series will star Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as Simon Williams, a.k.a. the titular character Wonder Man. Demetrius Gross, that's who's playing the Grim Reaper. Demetrius Gross is playing the Grim Reaper. And then you've got Ben Kingsley coming back as his role as Eric Slattery, who is going to be reprising his role in Wonder Man. We last saw him in Shang-Chi. And I guess they're going to be on set because, as you know, Ben Kingsley's character, Eric Slattery, is an actor in the MCU. So they are going to be on set together or something like that. But now, Kevin Feige did say some things about Wonder Man as well. Kevin Feige said that Wonder Man... This is what he said about Wonder Man last week. He stopped by the official Marvel Studios podcast that they've started with the shit guests that they've been having. And he said a lot of... he said the MCU... I'm sorry. This is what he said about it. He was asked, do you have any insight or info to share on what you know about Wonder Man? To where he said... Oh, no, that's Alex. That's what Kevin Feige said. My apologies. Kevin Feige said that the Wonder Man series would be like unlike anything that the MCU has ever done before. We've heard that with many different projects. And I have not felt that. Now with Wonder Man, Alex was asked, does he have any insight on the show also, to where he said that there are some interesting horror elements that will be added into the show, so it will be a combination of comedy and horror. The Wonder Man showrunner, Andrew Guest, shared a picture of himself and Destin, which I'm not sharing. It was just a picture of them outside of Marvel Studios, done with the show, and it's in post-production. The show is supposed to come to Disney Plus in 2026. So that's what we really know about Wonder Man. It's going to be a comedy horror. Kevin Feige says it's unlike anything that they've ever done before, and the plot is pretty much Wonder Man. I mean, it's his origins in the comics. It seems like that's what they're going to be doing. Demetrius Gross did an interview where he said that it's extremely different. It's something, like Kevin Feige said, something that they've never done before, and then he thinks that people are really going to love the show. But we will see. We'll see. Again, nothing of the show. We don't know what Simon Williams is going to look like in the MCU. We don't. Yahya, unless I'm wrong, Yahya himself has not talked about the show publicly. Not in an interview or anything. I've not seen it. And Marvel themselves also have yet to say anything about the show outside of they are being sued because someone died on set. So, outside of that, that is all we know about Wonder Man and when that's coming to the MCU. So, as you guys were saying in the comments, Marvel themselves really don't know anything about Wonder Man, and we also, as the audience, don't know anything about Wonder Man because they don't. So, but if you're interested in that, let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about Wonder Man. Are you excited for Wonder Man? Are you ready for Wonder Man? Any of that. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Raymond said, I expected... Raymond's here. Raymond is here. Raymond. I'm live, Raymond. I am live, and it's not my regular time. You know what, Raymond? When I decided to go live today and I sat down in this chair, I specifically thought of you. I think of you almost every time we go live because you talk so much shit before we go live. And I'm always like, you know what, Raymond? I'm going to prove you wrong. Even though your score is a lot higher than mine, you've proven me wrong more. But I'm here today. So, but Raymond's here. That's one of my friends. I like Raymond. What did you say, Raymond? You said I expected a lot from them at D23, but alas, they failed again. Yeah, no, they did. They did. D23 gave us outside of Marvel was great. I thought some of the Disney announcements from D23, like Lilo and Stitch, I thought he looked great. He wasn't scary like I thought he was going to look. Moana 2. I'm still interested in seeing Snow White. There's some other projects like Incredibles 3. Hell yeah. Zootopia 2. Yeah, there's some good shit coming from Disney and Pixar outside of Marvel. Star Wars. Nothing good from them. The Mando and Grogu movie, little tease thing they gave us looked good. Sigourney Weaver has officially signed on to the film. We don't know in what capacity, what character she's playing, but I feel like you don't sign Sigourney Weaver on to a sci-fi film. I mean, she is Alien. You don't sign her on to a sci-fi film and then not give her a big sci-fi sized role. So I don't know, but I'm still excited for that one. My excitement for Mando and Grogu is not what it should be as a Star Wars fan. It is, dare I say, it's Thunderbolts level excitement. It is. It's not like, damn, the Mando and Grogu movie. It's like, Mando and Grogu movie. It's not gonna be good. So I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. Raymond said he doesn't talk shit. He speaks truth. My apologies. Xavier said, we've seen the thing. Oh, sorry. I read that one. Nobody really said anything about, or cared to say anything about Wonder Man. Q said, I just wonder where they are going to introduce Mephisto, Grim Reaper, Doom, a new witch, and Agatha, all basically at the same time, while not clearing up really anything from the past couple of years. Yeah. And Mephisto showing up in Ironheart, I forget about Ironheart too. That's one I completely forget about a lot. It's a lot to. That's why I said. I've seen on Twitter some people suggesting that some of those plot holes, post-credit scenes, things that we're wanting answered are not ever going to be answered. People saying that they're just going to quietly possibly ignore a lot of that shit. Like with Eternals 2 not happening. Not to say we won't see the Eternals again. With Eternals 2 not happening, what then happens with Harry Styles as Euros? What happens with the Celestials and everything else like that? Like, it's, yeah, it's a lot of plot holes. A lot of things to cover. Ricardo said nobody gave a fuck about Wonder Man because Marvel doesn't. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Yeah, nobody said anything about Wonder Man besides Chill said Wonder Man exemplifies the difference between representation and attendance. Bingo. That as well. Gray said, ain't nobody checking for Wonder Man. I'm still wondering why the hell they greenlit it. Right. Okay, let's see. Let's move here. We'll move on to the next thing. We'll move to, let's talk Armor Wars. We'll save Spider-Man for last. Let's talk Armor Wars. Now, Armor Wars is going to be pretty quick. The reason Armor Wars is going to be pretty quick is because Marvel, like Wonder Man, don't give a fuck about Armor Wars. Armor Wars was again announced in 2019, and we've not heard anything from Marvel Studios about Wonder Man. Hell, same boat. Armor Wars. The last thing we heard about Armor Wars from Don Cheadle himself was when he was interviewed, I believe it was by either Variety or comicbook.com, where he was asked about what can he tell us. He's like, oh, I can't tell you much, but I can tell you that, it's going to be, diving into who Rhodey is and da-da-da. I think he did another interview who's quoted saying he would like to know, like for the audience to get to know who Rhodey is. Like, what does he do on a day-to-day basis? What does he eat? Does he have relationships? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe that Marvel themselves are interested in diving into the deepness of Rhodey, into his relationships, into what the fuck he eats, into what he's doing on a day-to-day basis. Marvel's not even interested in putting him in the War Machine suit and having him gallivant around in a fucking movie. So that's not happening. I don't think that if the Wonder Man, it's in the same boat. If the Armor Wars series turn film, probably turn canceled, is not happening. I mean, I don't know. I have notes here. I have things that we. Okay, so Exiled Scooper put out that it's been quietly canceled. It's been rumored that the Armor Wars movie has been quietly canceled for a while now. And again, that would kind of make sense because for a while now, we've not heard shit about Armor Wars. We don't know. Again, I just have some of the rumors and things here, but we don't know. While other reports are claiming that Armor Wars isn't canceled, the project will begin production next year. The plot is rumored to tie into damage control using the Stark drones that were stolen after Far From Home. Other rumors say the events of Secret Invasion will impact the plot, since what happens here causes the U.S. government to intensify the fight against enhanced individuals by ordering the creation of the Iron Army program. Val would have had a plan to use people with powers that would have been the original plot for Thunderbolts, but obviously Thunderbolts has changed. Val would have hired Justin Hammer to create the Iron Army program, which would result in various people using our Stark armor. And we also know that Val is the one that purchased Avengers Tower. So we will see, I'm assuming that in Thunderbolts as well, or maybe in Armor Wars if it's real. It also says that Ironheart and other heroes would help stop this program and would most likely have each other, or most likely all have their own armor. And now what that means, other heroes outside of Ironheart having armor, I'm not sure. I don't know who these other heroes are. Crimson Dynamo is rumored to appear in Armor Wars. That's cool for me. I really like Crimson Dynamo. I think him. I mean, it was rumored that a lot of different. I mean, if you know the Armor Wars comic storyline, that a lot of different Tony Stark, Iron Man villains are involved, and Crimson Dynamo is just one of them. Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, is rumored to appear in Armor Wars. Armor Wars will connect to Shang-Chi 2. It will be a direct sequel to the aftermath of Secret Invasion. Ultron will still appear. Possible West Coast Avengers connections. Armor Wars is also rumored to feature a handful of villains that appear in the Armor Wars comic arc. Justin Hammer, Sharon Carter as the Power Broker, and Damage Control, who may be working together to sell stolen Stark tech. Daisy Johnson and Elena Rodriguez will appear in Armor Wars. They were both part of the Secret Warriors. Damage Control had all kinds of Stark tech and weapons that Vulture was stealing in Homecoming. We saw that they had Ultron bots and have used stolen Stark tech to hunt superhumans. Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Damage Control may revive Ultron to use him to hunt superhumans. Now, that may be more geared into Vision Quest now. That's where they remember in Vision Quest we said that certain elements of Armor Wars had been taken from Armor Wars and put into Vision Quest, and I believe that's probably what it is. It goes on to say that Damage Control is also going to have some presence in Daredevil Born Again. Kingpin will likely make some kind of alliance with them to use their tech, tech, Stark drones, as part of his vigilante task force. Damage Control may have something to do with Ultron being revived as well. Obviously, it said that. The last thing it says is, while rumors regarding these details have been around for a while, there are also some speculation that Damage Control has been using more Stark tech for their own use. This may tie into Armor Wars, Vision Quest, and Daredevil Born Again. So outside of Damage Control being involved and some of the other rumors we've already known about, there is nothing out there about Armor Wars. Armor Wars was not discussed at SDCC. It wasn't hinted at. It wasn't discussed or hinted at D23. Don Cheadle himself has not posted or said or anything to be like, oh yeah, it's still happening. At least Simu Lee is out there doing interviews like, oh yeah, I promise you guys, Shang-Chi 2 is still happening. Maybe Don Cheadle's not out here saying those things because it's just not fucking happening. And they've just quietly taken it off the table, as Exiled Scooper hints at. So, again, not really much there on Armor Wars, but if the show turned film is actually still happening and not turned to being canceled, how excited are you for Armor Wars? I feel like for me, again, I was at one point, but it falls into that same category of been too long, I don't now give a fuck. If it's not taking us to Secret Wars, or it's not playing a role into getting us to Secret Wars or Doomsday, I just am hard pressed to really give a fuck. I really am. So I don't know, but question is for you guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Armor Wars. Do you think that Armor Wars is going to still happen? Are you thinking that it's been quietly canceled? Is it something that you care about? Or has it been too long? Let me know what you guys think. We have one more after that. We just have Spider-Man. I'm going to see what you guys are saying about Armor Wars. Let's see. Chillmonger said Feige is developing the script for that too. Brother Stark said, I feel they are canceling Armor Wars for Vision Quest, Ironheart, and maybe we get the West Coast Avengers. Rhodey ain't coming back until a team up. I agree with that. Now, see, that's where I think they're going with it, too. I think that you get the West Coast Avengers, and that's where he's going to show up again. It ain't going to be his own film. It's not. Stamina said, Secret Invasion fucked up whatever excitement there might have been for Armor Wars. Rhodey is one big question mark now. Yep. I don't want to pronounce the first name incorrectly. Is it Ramar? Robinson said, not surprised at this point, they are just fast tracking or rushing towards Secret Wars. Secret Invasion needs to be retconned. Oh no, I agree with you. No one's fighting you on that. Secret Invasion was an abysmal disaster. Secret Invasion was a dumpster fire of shit that should have never been put on Disney Plus. Now that trailer, both trailers were great. Those trailers got me excited. But Secret Invasion itself as a whole, that is the most unforgettable finale I think I've ever watched. The most unforgettable, unexciting finale ever. It was awful. Awful. Brother Stark said, Blade, Armor Wars, no progress, T'Challa killed, Wonder Man shelved, Blue Marvel Who, Luke Cage canceled, but the Anthony Mackie gets his first solo movie and the new Cap after 3 Cap movies. Professor Film Fan said, I do wish we got Blue Marvel instead of Wonder Man. It's been too long for Armor Wars. Yeah, it's been too long for Armor Wars. It definitely has. Grand Region Thrag said, I was interested in Armor Wars, but now I'm just confused. Isn't Rhodey a Skrull? He was, but he's not. Gray said, I hate that for Don Cheadle. He's one of their best actors, and he's not even had an opportunity to showcase his talent. It's sad. It's sad. He's been here since Iron Man 2. And still nothing from War Machine. Gaia. Robinson said, Ramar said, where is Gaia? I've heard Gaia is supposed to be a part of what team? Some team she's supposed to be a part of. I don't know. And maybe I forgot because I thought it was stupid and I just didn't give a fuck. I don't know. I forget what team she's supposed to be on. But what another wasted of a great actress, Emilia Clarke. You bring the Mother of Dragons in herself into the MCU and you have her playing some whack ass fucking character. Jesus. That Phase 5, Phase 4 formula was some shit. Whoever cooked that was some shit. Yeah, no. No. All right. The last one here is Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man has changed a lot. Spider-Man, at one point, as we all know, No Way Home ended with Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, with no one knowing him, with us finally getting to the point where we might actually get a grounded Spider-Man film with Tom Holland in the MCU where they can do, whatever with, now that he's not Iron Boy or whatever other nicknames he had in the MCU. Iron, whatever. So, we thought we were going to get a grounded Spider-Man film. Kevin Feige said that we were going to get that grounded Spider-Man film. They said that the next film was going to be, Kingpin related. Daredevil was going to make appearances. Black Cat was going to make an appearance. It was going to be a grounded film where Kingpin was going to be going up against Spider-Man because he was trying to outlaw vigilantes, and that's why Daredevil was involved. And there were still going to be some multiversal elements somewhat around that, because if you take yourself all the way back to, when was that? I believe it was back in 2020. Was it back in? I don't remember exactly when that was, but if you take yourself back to, I want to say maybe the beginning of this year, when Marvel and Sony were going head to head about what they were going to do as far as the next Spider-Man film. Sony was wanting it to be multiversal, where Marvel was wanting it to be more grounded. Sony wanted to bring back Andrew and Tobey immediately to repeat the No Way Home success, where Marvel was like, no, we just did that. We're not trying to do it multiversal. We're going to bring Andrew and Tobey back, but not this quickly. As I've said many, many times, people have argued with me about this, when it comes to the character of Spider-Man, Marvel has zero say. They don't get to dictate what Spider-Man does. They don't get to decide what Spider-Man shows up in. If Sony does not agree, if Sony doesn't like the script, if Sony doesn't like the direction, Sony can pull the fucking plug. Now, yes, there are contracts, there are things like that, but none of us know exactly what those contracts say. But it seems to me that the upper hand of those contracts go to Sony. Because again, they still have full autonomy here. They get to decide what is done with the character, not just what's done with that character, but what's done with the rogues gallery of characters of Spider-Man. That's not just with Spider-Man. That's with Spider-Man's villains. Daniel RPK had put out a few weeks ago that anytime that Sony uses one of Spider-Man's villains, it blocks Marvel from using that villain. So, i.e. Kraven, i.e. Rhino. We're hearing that Chameleon is supposed to be in some form of Kraven, obviously his brother. And then there's another villain that they're Morbius, and some of the other villains. You can't use them. Marvel can't use them, if we're to believe this rumor from Daniel RPK, is because Sony blocks them from using them, because Sony has the power. Marvel bends the knee to Sony. So when it came down to it being multiversal and what Marvel wanted, and we had kind of gotten to that agreement that this is what it was going to be, well, now that's changed. That has changed. Let's see. Let me go to it. So now it's being changed that the Spider-Man 4 will most likely touch on the multiverse. And if you see here, that's where a lot of people are upset. Fans are not having it. Fans are not having Spider-Man 4 touching on the multiverse. They don't want it to be multiversal because they wanted that grounded level Spider-Man film where he gets to just be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, we all kind of thought we might, at the end of the film, get some type of multiversal post-credit scene or some multiversal events toward the end to push it toward Secret Wars and Doomsday. But the entire film is going to be more like a No Way Home type of deal. So So it says now, as expected, Spider-Man 4 is now filming next year and is slated to release in July 2026 between Doomsday and Secret Wars, meaning that, yes, this is very likely going to be another multiversal movie. And that's coming from Daniel RPK. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige recently did an interview where he said, I don't know if he's trying to be funny or what, but he said, when we said we wanted Spider-Man to be more grounded, we just didn't tell you that ground would be an alien planet in another universe. So that's coming from Kevin Feige's mouth himself. Is Spider-Man 4 taking place in New York? I don't know. If it's taking place in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's going to be a Battle World type film where Spider-Man 4 is going to take place on Battle World and not take place in New York. Because Kevin Feige said, we just didn't tell you that it was going to take place on, it was going to be grounded from an alien planet in another universe. So I don't know if we're hinting at, some Battle World stuff or whatever. I've seen other people suggesting the same thing, that it is going to take place on Battle World instead of it being its own film. So this is what they've got currently in the current untitled Spider-Man 4 script. Peter Parker is struggling with the severe depression of PTSD after the events of No Way Home. He has nightmares of Green Goblin and Aunt May's death. His mental health is in sharp decline. He finds new friendship and someone he can mentor in Miles Morales, his new next door neighbor. In Jeff Loveness's draft of Kang Dynasty, Miles would have already been bitten and had his Spider-Man powers. He would have joined Spider-Man in street-level team-up and try to take down Rama Tut. That part I don't believe at all. I believe the Miles Morales stuff, and I believe the team-up street-level shit, but they wouldn't have been fighting Rama Tut. Not in Spider-Man 4. What was rumored for Rama Tut was in Moon Knight, and I believe that is still rumored for Moon Knight. It goes on to say, in the most recent draft of Spider-Man 4, it appears Miles won't get his Spider-Man powers in the movie, of course, and now they will wait until Secret Wars and the soft reboot to make him Spider-Man. However, Tom Holland's Spider-Man will still interact with other variants of Miles Morales / Spider-Man, including Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse movies and Beyond the Spider-Verse and Avengers Secret Wars. So if you go back really quickly here to when we first started this channel, my entire theory when it came to Spider-Man stemmed on Across the Spider-Verse, Tom Holland, Andrew, and Toby, and how they were trying to do the Spider-Geddon thing, and I still think they're doing that, and how it was going to bleed into, I think, what's the new one? Beyond the Spider-Verse? I think Beyond the Spider-Verse, since we're going Beyond the Spider-Verse, I think that's going to be their way of also breaking into live action. So where we see, because I don't want a who-framed Roger Rabbit deal where it's animation and live action. No. I believe the Miles that we're going to get is probably going to be broken out into live action once we see him Beyond the Spider-Verse, or however that is going to work. But I still believe that's all tying into Secret Wars. Kingpin's goal in Spider-Man 4 would have been to set New York against the vigilantes, even though the world forgot about Peter. Everyone still remembers Mysterio framing Spider-Man, which Kingpin would have used to help turn New York more against Spider-Man. Now, that is not happening anymore. That is not the new things going on in Spider-Man. Here's the new things that we know. Some of the new elements for what is now being done in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 will feature Venom and the Inheritors as multiversal villains. The movie will likely be released July of 2026. This film will also feature possibly Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat. As we all know, Sydney Sweeney has been in talks with Marvel Studios to portray a certain character. She's been fan casted as Black Cat, but we don't know what her conversations were with Marvel Studios. She also had conversations with Lucasfilm as well. So it says that he might not. The film might not end up featuring Kingpin at all, but could still feature Daredevil. It will feature Peter encountering the symbiote. From my understanding, he's not going to get the symbiote though until Secret Wars. He'll encounter it, but the way that turning into Black Suit Spider-Man or anything like that. Until Secret Wars. Ned might return. This is something we've kind of all talked about. It kind of diminishes No Way Home. Having Ned, especially if he returns and he remembers Peter, We've heard that Zendaya is possibly supposed to be returning as well. If they return and they remember Peter, what was No Way Home then? The story obviously has been changed. Peter will be heading to ESU. Filming is currently set to begin later this year. The film might release between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. And this was always the possibility because Marvel also had to work with Sony's schedule, and Sony wants to repeat the No Way Home success. But according to Alex over at the Cosmic Circus, Marvel is likely saving Kingpin for the conflict in Spider-Man 5 instead of Spider-Man 4. Marvel Studios' Spider-Man 4 will begin filming next year and will release again between Doomsday and Secret Wars, meaning it's most likely going to be still that multiversal film. So, Spider-Man 4 is going to be multiversal. It is not going to be, be that grounded level film where we're going to, like we all thought we were going to see Scorpion. We all thought we were going to see some of those other grounded villains working for Kingpin, trying to get rid of the vigilantes. That's where we were going to see Daredevil. It was rumored that Punisher was even going to show up, Black Cat. And then that stuff was going to lead into a multiversal deal because the threat of Kang was still obviously looming. But that is now obviously all changed, and it is going to be different. So Spider-Man 4 may not even take place in New York City. It may take place on Battleworld or a completely different planet altogether. But Spider-Man Tom Holland is still not going to get his grounded level Spider-Man film. And if he does, that would come in Spider-Man 5 after Secret Wars, when they want to try to reintroduce the Kingpin Vincent D'Onofrio story, which I really hate that, because Vincent D'Onofrio was really excited about having his Kingpin come up against Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man. I was excited for that. I thought that would have been really dope. If Kingpin is just completely nixed from this plot of Spider-Man 4, I mean, okay. Not what I was expecting, though. Not what I was expecting. And again, a lot of fans didn't want it either. This is, again, reactions from a lot of different fans. I'm just not happy about it. Not happy about the decision. So, yeah. But, as always, the question is for you guys. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Are you excited for Spider-Man? I'm still excited because it's Spider-Man. So I'm still excited. I'm still excited because it's simply Spider-Man. I still wanted that grounded level Spider-Man film, but I'll take a multiversal whatever. I mean, it's Spider-Man. Sure. I will say this. I said this at the very beginning, too, when I talked about the struggles between Marvel back in January, struggles between Marvel and Sony that they were having, wanting to bring Tobey and Andrew back. I said no then, I say no now. I don't say no to bringing Tobey and Andrew back for Avengers 5. I say no to bringing them back for Spider-Man 4 like Sony wants to do. To me, again, it diminishes what they did in No Way Home. Like, I want to see them back, but right that quick, it's a very quick turnaround. If we're to believe rumors, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is going to be one of the leading multiversal team members of anchor beings that's going on in Secret Wars and Doomsday. But I really, we'll have to wait as more comes out. But let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Let's see. Raymond said, let's start with Grand Regent Thrag. I think we need to collectively boycott anything Sony so Disney can get Spider-Man back. Brother, I have been on that train. I am not watching Kraven. I did not watch Madam Web. I have not seen Morbius. And let me tell you how great I sleep at night knowing I haven't seen any of that shit. I will never watch that shit. And it's the same reason I'm not tuning into anything Black Panther related in the MCU. Because you refuse to use the franchise's main character. What the fuck do I want to go watch Kraven in this botched ass fucking origin story where he's... What? The reason Kraven exists is because of Spider-Man. The reason Rhino exists is because of Spider-Man. The reason that any of those characters had any fucking interest like that is because of Spider-Man. Like, I don't want to go watch Kraven fight Rhino. What the fuck? I don't want to go watch Madam Web run around in a fucking premonition ass movie where they don't even wear their suits. I don't want to watch Morbius do whatever the fuck Morbius did in that movie. So no, I am not tuning in to anything Sony related with Spider-Man outside of like the Beyond the Spider-Verse stuff. I fucks with that, and this Nicolas Cage thing where he's because that's still Peter Parker. It's still Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man, but the stuff where Spider-Man is not there, no, not interested. Raymond said, at this point, I'm done with the multiverse. It's been played out. I'm tired of the multiverse too, honestly. And he said, of course, you've got shills like Jordan and the Angel guy loving every bit of this and making it seem like every other fan is doing too much. No, we are all entitled to our opinions. If we're sick and tired, then you're sick and tired. And if you're sick and tired, there's got to be a reason you are sick and tired, because you weren't sick and tired at the beginning. Something along the journey made you sick and fucking tired. And that something is Marvel Studios themselves. Marvel Studios themselves have made us all sick and fucking tired. And so don't pay attention to people online that try to make you feel some type of way because you are giving a critique over something that you fucking watched. If you didn't like it, you don't have to pander to the people that are liking it. If you don't like it, you don't fucking like it. Grand Region Thrag said, I actually don't mind multiversal movies as long as they're good. Yeah, as long as they're good, I don't mind it. Am I sick of what they're doing currently in the multiverse? Marvel? Yeah. Chill said, what will he swing on? I don't know, Chill. Maybe this planet has a city. I don't know. Stamina said, Battle World, even more soundstage, CGI, flatness, Quantumania all over again. Can't wait. Right. And there's rumors, and which is this plays to your flatness and CGI. There's rumors that Battle World is the Void. The Void in the MCU will be Battle World because that is where everything goes to die anyway. Ramar said, I'd rather see Spider-Man 4 tie into Daredevil Born Again. Yes. Like it was fucking supposed to. Yes. Than being a multiversal movie. Brother Stark said, remember when The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was filmed entirely in New York? Good times. A street-level hero in the streets. Right. Godbrother said, so does Sony own all Spider-Man? Yes. Yes, Miles included. They own all Spider-Man, Miles included. Not just, they own all of the Spider-Man and all of his villains. Marvel cannot move without asking Sony. Like the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series, Sony must not see any real they're getting a percentage of whatever's done, but for them to allow, it's animated. That's why they allowed Marvel to do it. It doesn't touch which they could have also told Marvel no, but it doesn't touch the live action stuff that they're trying to do. The only thing animated that Sony's currently interested in is the Miles Morales stuff. So yeah, no, they own it all. They own it all. Let's see. Stamina says, strictly speaking, they don't own, but they have contractual rights to all the characters, which, as far as we're concerned, is basically the same thing. Because Vincent D'Onofrio recently spoke on this when he was talking about there are some. Exactly what did he say? He said there's like a weird gray area or something with his character because Sony owns it, but Marvel. But he's I forgot exactly what he said, but he recently talked about this. He recently talked about the weird gray area that even his character of Kingpin is in. So yeah. Let's see. Raymond said, Sony owns all the Spider-Man properties, characters, and villains. Brother Stark said, I'll be watching that shit on 123 movies. Marvel ain't getting a dime from me. I'm not watching. Are you about Craven? I'm not on that one. You can't tell me Tobey Maguire ain't the most grounded Spider-Man story. He did all of that on his own. No cameos from other actors or heroes. No multiverse. No backpedaling off the source of another hero. Stamina said Spider-Man was left in a damn good place in No Way Home. So yeah, I'm optimistic about this thing. They can do going forward. Yeah. Ricardo said they ruined my Spidey. Xavier said, I know the studio is going to throw love behind Spider-Man, so I'm sure it'll be decent. Of course. It's Spider-Man. That's why I'm still excited, regardless, because it's still Spider-Man. I have speculation, but it's still Spider-Man. He also said the MCU is going to have to pry Spidey away from Sony's dead cold hands. Yeah, if I'm Sony, though, too, I would never sell him. I wouldn't be treating him the way that they're treating him, but I would never sell him back. You're out of your fucking mind. You know how much money that IP can give me? Bro, I'd pump out a Spider-Man film, regardless if it's Peter Parker or the Spider-Man you just went on a journey with. I'm giving you a different Spider-Man something because money. People are going to put their asses in seats for Spider-Man regardless of what it is. Spider-Man is one of the most beloved comic book characters ever. So what? No. Chill said Sony learned nothing from Morbius disaster. No, they didn't learn anything from that. They didn't learn anything from the Morbius disaster so much so that they they re-released it in theaters. They said, oh, they took people mocking Morbius online as real. People saying, oh man, re-release it. And they said they want it back in theaters. Let's re-release it. Stupid. They're out of touch. They have no idea. They have no fucking clue. Stamina said Morbius and his synthetic blood was a bridge too far. D-Stizzle said Marvel shouldn't have made a new film deal with Sony. They were on the verge of bankruptcy. Spider-Verse films are great, though. They are great. Xavier said, or talking to D-Stizzle, Raymond said, so the only multiversal movies I think were good were the Spider-Verse movies. I think they are perfect, even though for some reason I'm not in love with it, which is weird because it's perfect. It's a perfect film. The first one is really good. I really like the second one too, but the first one is really good. Xavier said all they had to do was wait him out. D-Sizzle said, from what I understand, Sony only has film rights. Really? Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Real Anarchy said, thumbnail is fuego. Are we talking about the Thing leaked image yet? Appreciate you being here, my guy. Yeah, we did see this. We did see this image. The image was shown. Like I said, no CGI, so it's fine. It's practical. Probably helps the actors a lot. I'm sure he's hot as fuck wherever they are filming this. Yes. I'm excited. Now, you want to talk about something I'm excited for? This. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is probably at the top, even before Secret Wars and Doomsday, at the top of my most anticipated list. I am so excited for the Fantastic Four because I love Marvel's first family. I was excited when it was announced. I'm still excited. The little sizzle reel thing they showed of the Future Foundation and all, and them as a family, and Galactus peering through the building. That's some exciting shit, bro. The picture they showed of the futuristic New York, the 60s, like Jetsons looking New York. I'm really ready for this. And I really hope they don't fuck it up. I am really, really ready for that one. That one I'm let's see. D-Stizzle said Marvel had to sign off on everything else like video games. Raymond said, talking to him, Executive Judge said, an afternoon stream, that's new. Yes, I know, that's new. That's new. I was off today, so I was like, let me go ahead and jump on live because I haven't been live in a minute. So let me go ahead and jump live. But no, thank you for noticing, Executive Judge. We know our guys that have been here. Raymond said, yeah, I'm not watching Craven unless the movie is well received and critics score like Dune level adored. Oh, well, you won't watch Craven. Stamina said, haha, you're staying home in that case. Yeah, right, he's staying home. Steve Tizzle said, Kingpin is in a gray area like Wanda and Quicksilver were. That's a very good example. Yes, like Wanda and Quicksilver, where he's in that gray area. Brother Stark said the multiverse is a cash grab that they knew Spider-Man would help them bank off of. Oh yeah. Stamina said multiverse is the only thing in common with the movies that Marvel are grabbing any cash from. Raymond said that the thing looks amazing. I like the practicalness of it for sure. Stamina said they're here in London. Oh, that's right. They are filming in London. The Thing suit might be hot, but the weather isn't. Ah, okay. I forget they are in London. That's right. Not Again 90 said, appreciate you being here, said, although the Pedro casting was a bit off to me, yes, I am also still excited for the Fantastic Four. MCU needs this because it's been a lot of hit and misses lately. Yeah. Now, I agree with you on the Pedro shit. I was never on board with the Pedro, and then I weirdly got on board with Pedro. I got on board with Pedro after SDCC. When I saw him come out there holding hands with Vanessa Kirby, and I was like, bro, are they about to really pull this Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm thing off? I'm really about to love this first family deal. And then I heard him speak as Reed in that sizzle reel, and I was like, oh. The thing about it is he sounds like Prince Oberyn from Game of Thrones, the character he played. And I don't want Reed to sound like he's from Dorne. So, but we'll see. Hopefully he can pull that thing off. We'll see. Stamina said, Ramar said, wow, they actually did the thing right this time. No CGI. He's still going to have the CGI for sure, but he's in the practical. It's in a practical suit. It's definitely going to be touched up for the film. Stamina said, Matt Shackman about to cook with this movie, though. What he did with WandaVision gives me utmost confidence. Can't remember who's writing, though. I don't remember who's writing either, but I like Matt Shackman. He's in-house. They trust him. Like you said, what he did with WandaVision, being able to handle the family aspect of things. So, yeah. Yeah. Xavier said, I'm so thankful for this afternoon stream, even though I should be working right now. Well, thank you, Xavier, for being here. I appreciate you. I wish I could do this. I wish I could stream afternoon every day. I wish I could stream with you guys afternoon every day. Kyle said, thoughts on today being the day Chadwick Boseman passed away. Extremely sad. It's something we opened this stream with. Regardless of the hashtag and wanting, which one doesn't have anything to do with the other, having T'Challa recast, we all are aware of not just the greatness that Chadwick Boseman brought to the character of T'Challa, bringing it to life in live action, but the greatness he brought to all the other characters he played in other movies. When he played Jackie Robinson, when he played Thurgood Marshall, the last film he did with Viola Davis and Remy, what's the shit called? Ma Remy's, forget the entire name of it, but the role he played there. Chadwick Boseman has played many great roles. But the only way to honor his legacy is to continue to, one, talk about those roles, and two, do what he wished for some of those roles. And not just some of those roles, all of those roles. He's had many conversations where he's talked about, the roles continuing on and not stopping at one, Let's say they ever decide to do another Jackie Robinson film, or they ever decide to do another Thurgood Marshall film. If we had the idea that only one person can play those individuals, we will not have other actors to compare how they did in this role, or how that, what they did different than what Chadwick did. So it's been 4 years, and I'm sure, obviously, as each year goes on, it doesn't get any easier, especially for his family and those that were close to him. For me, as a fan, I grieved in 2020 when he passed. It is always going to be sad every time that the anniversary of his passing comes around. But I'm so glad that the brother is not in any pain anymore, carrying what he was carrying, secretly carrying, and while secretly carrying that, continuing to give us the greatness that he gave us in the MCU as T'Challa. So I thank him as a fan of his. I thank him as a fan of T'Challa, and I just wish that Marvel and company could do what he wished, for sure. Brother Stark said, I find it funny how nobody that works for Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, have said anything in honor of Chadwick Boseman. Has Marvel not put out anything today? Has Marvel not? Let's see. No, nothing from Marvel today. Nothing from Marvel today. And see, that's something too. I'm not saying that Marvel every year that Chadwick Boseman's the anniversary of his death comes around that they need to post something. But my thing is, if you stood 20 toes down on not wanting to recast T'Challa out of honoring Chadwick Boseman, but yet you can't even seem to honor him on your own Twitter page, your own social media page. There's nothing about his passing today. And that's not to say the day is over, that they can't still put something, but you would have expected the studio that... yeah, no, nothing from them today. So, interesting. Stamina said if they make the Thing look as good as Man Thing did in oh yeah, Werewolf by Night, we'll be happy as fuck because Ted looked amazing to me. I agree with you. I thought he looked good. Grand Region Thrax said I'm gonna watch Werewolf by Night again when I get a chance. I watched it not too long ago. It still holds up. Raymond said it's been a long 4 years since Chadwick's transition. Miss him till this day. Brother Stark said, I will eat a hot honey bun out of the microwave before I watch anything Wakanda without T'Challa. Raymond said, 2020 was a booger. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. Not Again 90 said, much respect and love to Boseman's short time on Earth, yet had such a major impact on everything he's touched. MCU and Kevin Feige do the right thing, Chad, and recast T'Challa. Andre said, just got called an idiot and told me to give it up. It's done. Anti-recasters. Oh yeah, no. With as much time as I have today being off, I don't need to engage with anti-recasters at all. And I'm so glad I have none in my mentions or anything like that. Stamina said, I just hope nobody tweets at Marvel and embarrasses them into action. I want them to obviously forget and take the resilient L thereafter. Raymond also said, and the cast of BP has suffered even more losses from Dorothy Steele and the stuntman too. Oh yeah, that's right. The stuntman passed. Was that this year he passed away? Was that in a car wreck? I believe he passed away, and then Dorothy just passed not too long ago. Grand Region Thrag said they could easily make a Chadwick documentary with behind-the-scenes footage and stories about Chadwick on the set and how he brought T'Challa to life, and they really wanted... Yeah, but I've said that, yeah. I mean, yeah. Do some type of assembled shit. Could have easily done something. Raymond said, this decade has been completely chaotic, and DeStizzle said, it's all gaslighting and bad faith arguments since day zero. Yeah. Most of them for sure. Most of them for sure. No, I haven't seen anything else on... Oops. Let's go home. I haven't seen anything else on here about it. There's something else about... Vision Quest. It says in the Vision series, Tommy Shepard / Speed will help White Vision to regain his memories and his humanity. The Ship of Thesis conversation will be explored in the series. Marvel Studios is currently looking for an actress for the role of Viv. Yeah. Oh, there's video. There's video of them putting on the thing. Who's playing the thing? How do you say his name? Iman Botch? I wonder if he's in there. Or is he pulling a Pedro Pascal? Pedro was like, I'm not going in the Mando suit all the time. I'll voice him, but I ain't going in there all the time. Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything else on Twitter about yeah, I haven't seen anything else. Nobody has any other big YouTubers shared the recast? Or has it still just been, what the fuck is going on here? What in? Yeah, that's how they out there pooping, huh? That's how they out there hooping. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. There's somebody. Oh, that was Chill that shared that. Hey, but that was just on my timeline. I didn't know that was. I didn't know what I was scrolling past. That's just on my timeline. He's out there hooping. Just hooping, you know? Yeah, see all these roles, all these great roles. That's Buck. Shout out to Buckmeister. Shout out to Buckmeister. Great roles. 21 Bridges, Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, James Brown. So yeah, these are their suits. I still like the suits. The suits still look good. I'm not, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think that Joseph Quinn is a really good actor. So I think personality-wise, he will draw us in as Johnny. If he hasn't yet, I think personality-wise, he will. But yeah, no, that is really about it. The only other thing I will share is the Gambit thing. Everybody saw the Gambit deal where they were, I think I bookmarked that. Yeah. The post-credit scene, or not post-credit scene, the deleted scene of Gambit getting out of the void, and then you see the Doctor Strange sling ring and his eyes here, which suggests that he is out of the void. Someone asked me would I want to see a Gambit film. No. A Channing Tatum Gambit film. No. I'm just be honest with you. No. I mean, sure. I'm not saying no within the MCU. No, that's what I'm saying. On its own, you want to do a Gambit film? I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it. Sure. I would watch a Gambit film, but within the MCU, Channing Tatum going on to continue on to be the Gambit. 10 years ago? Sure. Today? No. I don't want it. Not again 90 said I hope they keep those suits, but I got a bad feeling they might change them once they cross. Change them into what? The MCU looking great value versions? Yeah. I'm trying to see if I saved anything else. Yeah, see, I like that. Like the picture I like. I like it. There was I think I have this one saved. If they would only do this, I'd like it even more because I do have this picture saved. Hold on. If they would only do this, I would like it even more. Did I not save it? I put it in here. Okay. Hold on. put that in here. There it is. All right. If they did this, I would like it even more. Because I don't know why he has to have the mustache. Like, to me, he just don't gotta have the mustache. That just looks so much better. Him there as Reed looks so much better. Just shave the fucking mustache. Yeah, he looks good there. D. Stizzle said, but got anti-recast is coming for him like he's Roadrunner. They're Wile E. Coyote. Yeah. No, they stay fucking busy. No, that is, I like that look on him though. Way more. Way more. Now, Vanessa Kirby has to do zero convincing to me that she's Sue. Zero. These are the rumored teams appearing in Doomsday. The Avengers, the main Avengers roster, West Coast Avengers, Young Avengers, Fantastic Four, New Guardians, Thunderbolts, Team Deadpool. Now that I just have a major problem with. And the reason I have a problem with that is because, don't get me wrong, I love Deadpool. But I don't want to see a team of them motherfuckers. I don't. Like Deadpool in serious moments, Ryan Reynolds and them, they handled it pretty well. And even in this film, the serious moments that Deadpool had to be in. But a team of Deadpools, you can take that one off from me personally. And the X-Men from the universe that Monica's stuck in. What else are they talking about? You see, Todd Phillips said that Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn is not going to be similar to past interpretations. He actually went on to say that the high voice, the accent, the gum chewing, all that sort of sassy stuff, that's all in comics. We stripped it way down. I am quite sick of directors and stuff saying, oh, that's comic stuff. What the fuck do you mean that's comic stuff? Like, that's a comic character. She needs to, I don't get that. Like, oh, that's all comic stuff. Where did you draw the inspiration to even do the movie? From the comic stuff. So, like, it's so weird to me when they're like, oh, no, I'm, like, I could be in the majority here, or the minority here, but I want the accent pudding. The Harley. I like the Harley from the original Batman animated series, where she is very animated, where she's the high-pitched voice, the accent, and yes, the gum chewing. When she told, like, when they brainwashed, who was it? Which Robin was it? It wasn't. Which Robin? I don't remember which Robin they brainwashed. But when they brainwashed him, she said, go get mommy her bazooka. I like that. I like that Harley. That's a good Harley. Oh, that's the picture that they shared for Wonder Main. Nothing with Wonder Main, just them playing ping pong. There's Vision's family from the comics for those unfamiliar. They will be in the show. I've been saying since day one, I don't care. And this is now my own personal, like, I just need to be right on this. I swear he's a Skrull. I swear to God, he is a Skrull. He is the only one in No Way Home that knew Nick Fury was off-world. Spider-Man didn't know that. Like, how would Damage Control know that Nick Fury's off? Yeah, so no. Just like I think that Nick is not Nick. Let's see. What else? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Let Ultron just be the fucking multiversal villain. Peter Doctor, I think it's probably just said doctor, like, you pronounce it doctor like doctor. Says Incredible 3 is only in the beginning stages of development. It's still pretty malleable in terms of what the story is actually about. I think we kind of talked about Incredibles 3 the last time. We were kind of talking about what we might all kind of want it to be. I know Raymond threw out some good theories of what it, what he would want it to be or what it could be. I'm really excited for Incredibles. The second one is not the first one. It's still really good. It's not the first one. But I am really ready for a third one. I say age them up. I don't think we need to pick up where we left off or something like that. I think it should be a couple years later. Have Dash aged up. Have Violet aged up. Have Jack aged up. And I liked who made the suggestion that maybe you make Jack the villain and the family has to go against Jack because he's got, or maybe he's being brainwashed by another villain, because Jack's powers are matched by none so far that we've seen in Incredibles. So be interesting, be pretty good. These are all the films coming out for 2025. We got Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Superman, Fantastic Four. 2025 is a huge year for movies. Fantastic Four, I don't know what Mickey 17 is. Paddington 3. There's a Paddington 3? I didn't know there was a 2. Ryan Coogler's vampire film, Snow White, Minecraft. Who? Something Flower Street. Mission Impossible 8. Mission can't be too impossible if there's 8. Karate Kid, Megan 2.0, Elio, the How to Train Your Dragon live action, Jurassic World, I don't know, 12, Nobody 2, Saw, what is that in Roman numeral? Saw 10, I don't know. Tron, Mortal Kombat, Black Phone 2, Blade, that's not real. Zootopia 2, Five Nights at Freddy 2, Avatar, Fire and Ash. That's gonna be good. And James Cameron is adamant that shit is coming out this year or next year. Wolfman, Scary Movie. The Scary Movie I do want to see. It's a reboot. Insidious 6, I'm all for that shit. Conjuring 4, I'm all for that shit. Monkey Paws, Him, Now You See Me 3. The second one was okay. The Bride, Michael. I'm just waiting on a trailer for that one. Now, you want to see me cry? You want to see me cry? I'm telling you, I'm probably going to cry in that trailer. Man, that is my... I would physically, literally fight you if you said something negative about Michael Jackson. Like, never met this man in my life. But I would fight for him as if, like, I know him personally. Like, there would be no Michael disrespect tolerated at all. 28 years later, it has some type of medical sign on it. So it must have something to do with medicine, medical, I don't know. Yeah, the MJ movie is going to get me, bro. It's going to get me. It's going to get me. Let's see. I like these concept designs for Blade. If you want to bring him back, you can do some of these concept designs. These are pretty cool. I really like this one.
I like the old version.
The old one, yeah, that one's cool too. Let's see what else I got. That's gonna be my new background soon. This is dope. Somebody shared this and said, "What if Joe Biden did this?" Oh shit! No, he looks good though. He really does. I'm excited for that. He looks good. Yeah. Now, what they need to do is bring back Savage Hulk, because I still say I don't know what the fuck. What the fuck is Anthony Mackie's Captain America doing with that? Like, what is he doing with that? Powerless. Yeah. Okay. What else we got? They're doing a new Anaconda film. Did you guys see that? I'm not going to go into the article, but they're doing a new Anaconda film. I don't think it's going to be in the vein of the other Anacondas, like Anaconda with Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube, and then there's Anaconda Hunt for the Red Orchard. I think that one is where I stopped with Anaconda. Hunt for the Red Orchard is where I stopped. But this is, I think, more of a comedy. It's got Jack Black in it, and I'm not reading the article. Who else is in it? Jack Black and somebody else. Jack Black. Yeah, I don't remember who else they said. I'm trying to skim through here. I don't remember who else they said, but it was two actors that are like Jack Black, another actor that's normally known for comedy. So I don't know if it is a comedy. I don't know how you. I'll read this first part. It was all the way back in 2020 that the Hollywood Reporter first reported that the Anaconda reboot was on its way, but it was Giant Freaking Robot that broke the news last May, and Paul Rudd. That's what it was. Paul Rudd. That Paul Rudd Ghostbusters from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire had been offered a role in the film. Not only has the Hollywood Reporter confirmed our scoop on Rudd, but they've added that Jack Black Borderlands is at the list to the list of stars circling the project. They have confirmed an earlier scoop from us that Tom Gormick, whoever that is, and co-writer and director for the reboot. So yeah, it was Paul Rudd and Jack Black. That's what I was. Yeah. So I don't know that this is going to be in the same vein of the other Anaconda films. It might not. I don't really know. But yeah, they're doing another Anaconda. Let's see, what else? Everybody knows about that. This is kind of first looks at the Baxter Building. There they are walking into the Baxter Building for the Fantastic Four. Let's see. The Waller series. The series Waller is described to be darker and more grounded than Peacemaker. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the Waller series, for Viola Davis alone, I am watching the Waller series. Viola Davis, as an actress, is a force. I don't know how many times I rewatch How to Get. I'm currently in a rewatching How to Get Away with Murder mood. I put on How to Get Away with Murder, and I'm rewatching it currently. How to Get Away with Murder is absolutely, positively one of the best Netflix shows. Well, shows on Netflix. I know it wasn't a Netflix original show, but it's on Netflix. One of the best shows on Netflix. Viola Davis in How to Get Away with Murder. Viola Davis in Fences. Viola Davis in The Help. Viola Davis in almost anything Viola Davis does. You know, her first role, she was paid what? I think $600 in her very first role in Hollywood. Viola Davis is a force, bro. Like, she's a brilliant actress. So I think anything she does, I'm involved in. So her as Waller, I like. It was one of the things with the reboot of DC I was hoping they were keeping. I was hoping they were going to keep Viola as Amanda Waller. So I'll probably be checking out the Waller series. Let's see, anything else on here? Nothing news coming out from this. Haven't heard anything else yet about that. We didn't really talk about it, but there's that stuff. What Ghost is going to look like and what Taskmaster is going to look like. And I want to say that is it. News-wise that I haven't covered or gotten to cover. Did anybody go see Alien Romulus? What'd y'all think? I saw it. See it last Sunday? Saw it last Sunday. Alien Romulus was pretty good. I liked it. Now this might kind of shit on some people. It wasn't like everybody was saying. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Alien Romulus is so fucking good. You got to go see it." It was great. It was good. For me, when it comes to horror, and I know Alien is not like horror. It's, suspenseful sci-fi. I guess it can touch on horror if you're scared of that type of shit. But when it comes to stuff like that, like people were like, "There's the jump scares really make you jump." I didn't, and I really wanted to jump. I really wanted to be scared. I really wanted to be like, ah, or oh shit. Now there were oh shit moments, like when obviously any time that the xenomorph comes out of someone's chest, it's an oh shit fucking moment. So yeah, it was good. The best part for me of the film, what's his name? The black actor that plays the android. I don't know who. It was my first time seeing him. I don't know who he is. That played the robot. He was probably one of the best parts, especially when he flipped. When he went to being everything's for the company, or this is for the company and the best interest of the company. It was, yeah. When he let old girl die, because he was like, it's waiting for us to open the door. The ending was wild. Official MG said the ending was wild. Yes, the ending was wild. I was not expecting that shit. But then Sigourney Weaver just recently said that she's open to returning as her character in the Alien, and people are saying, yes, retcon what she did where she returned and have this be the original return. And I think, bro, with the Alien franchise on making its comeback, especially with Romulus doing the numbers that it did, off of what was its budget, 80 million, I think is what its budget was, and it's doing great in theaters. If Sigourney Weaver wants to come back, bring Sigourney Weaver fucking back and let her come back and retcon those two shit ones and have her come back, and this would be the first comeback. I think it'd be dope. Could be dope. Grace sent this to me on Twitter. I did not look into it too much though, but it was I guess they're doing a new children's books for Marvel, and this was the one for Sam Wilson that says first look at a hero looks like you. And they have some of the panels here. This could have been a T'Challa book. Let's see what else we got. James Cameron confirms he's working on a new Terminator project. I saved that because that was interesting to me. I like the Terminator films. I can't tell if this is a downgrade or an upgrade. I can't. I can't tell. Still sucks in both of them. I think that's it. I really do. I think that is it. Last other thing I did say, I know it's more of a ways down here. Did you guys see what Kit Harington said about Game of Thrones? And not just Kit Harington, Peter Dinklage too. Peter Dinklage was on, what's his name that has a podcast? I don't care for him. What's his name? Forget his name. Anyway, Peter Dinklage was on his podcast where he was talking about how he said kind of the same thing that Kit Harington said. He doesn't want to revisit the Game of Thrones world because he spent too much time in that world and he's not interested, and eventually he might go back if he ever wants to revisit or whatever. I think just like with what they saw with season 8, I think they saw that season 2 was pretty garbage, and just don't want to say that. Or maybe they're really not spending time in the Game of Thrones world anymore. Kit Harington said that any Jon Snow stuff he believes is off the table because they couldn't come to how it would make sense, what would be good, how would we be interested as the audience. Yeah. So the Game of Thrones world is still one of my favorites to visit. It's, they still got a lot of other things coming out. The Knights of Seven Kingdom, the Sea Snake series, the animated series, Aegon the Conqueror. So you still got a bunch of other series is coming out surrounding Game of Thrones, and then of course season 3 that we're promised is supposed to be all Total War of House of Dragon. I feel like we were promised that for season 2 though, and it was garbage. So I don't know. But yeah, that's it. That is all I've got today for everybody, because now we're back in the D23, back when they were talking about D23. So yeah, that is all I've got. He's playing he is going to be playing Daeron Targaryen. He already looks like a Targaryen. In the in the Seven Kingdoms, Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. In season 3, we're supposed to be getting Viserys and I forget what is his name. Viserys and Alicent's third child, their youngest child. the one that went to live that wasn't raised by them. He's going to be in season 3. So yeah. Exciting things. Anything else anybody said there? Stamina said Kit is pretty shoulder shrug about the whole thing. He about that too, and I think about Eternals. I don't think he really gives a fuck if he comes back as a Black Knight. Yeah, Raymond, go see it. Go watch. I'm definitely not saying don't watch Alien Romulus. It wasn't. I wanted it to be more wow. It still was wow. It's still very good. I just wanted it to be more. Like I wanted to jump, bro. I wanted to jump or something. I just wasn't jumping. And then Raymond said he's ashamed. He's really looking forward to seeing more of him, and he liked Eternals. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be doing too much more in the MCU. Maybe. We'll see. But that's what I got for you guys today. I am live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so I'm live tomorrow evening with the Pantheon with Chill and Marcus. I'm sure we'll discuss some of the things that have gone on online today with recast of T'Challa and obviously the anniversary 4 years of Chadwick Boseman's death. And there are some other things I'm sure we'll touch on as well. I do want to hear their thoughts on the Cat Williams and Steve Harvey thing. So we'll talk about probably that and some other things. So, but that is live 8:30 Central Standard Time. What are they? 9:30. What is it? What is that? Mountain Time? Is that Mountain Time? What? I don't know what time they are. Canada time. 9:30 Canada time is what they are. So 8:30 Central Standard Time, my time. 9:30 Canada time, their time. So if you would like to come and join us. Come join us. All right. Appreciate all you guys being here today. I know this was not a regular stream. It was not the regular time that we normally stream, but I appreciate the turnout and everybody coming in and hanging out with us or me and everything like that. So yeah, I appreciate it. And as you guys all know, in 4 months I'm moving, so all of this is going to look so different. My new studio idea of what my camera is going to be showing and what it's going to look like is going to be so much better. So Canada has 4 time zones. I did not know this. Well, one of those 4 time zones is one of the ones you want to join in on with Chill. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you guys. Yes, it was a fun stream. It was, Raymond. It's about time. Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate. You know what? I can leave the stream happy, knowing that it was truly a good stream because Raymond told me that he enjoyed it. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ramar. I appreciate you being here as well. Oh, I did get the name right. Cool. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, I'm live Thursday. See you guys tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I will see all you guys in the next video. I don't think there's music because I still haven't changed the music from Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. So appreciate it. Hang out if you want. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.